What's up, guys? Welcome to the DC Show's Midnight Run. Yes, I'm wearing earbuds. My other headphones, I did not charge them, and so they are dead, which was not what I expected to walk into today, but it is what it is. So, on top of that, what's going on, guys? It's good to hear from all of you. Say, Rasha's already here. Geeks Cosmic Entertainment. What's going on, buddy? Who else in here? Sickness is in here. Sickness! Now, we have a lot of different topics that we're going to be talking about today. What's up, Visanth? It's good to see you, buddy. And so, earlier today, Geekocity by Mikey Sutton, they released an article that talked about something that could be going on over at Warner Media, let's say. So we're going to dive into that and kind of see what that was all about. What's up, AK? What's up, Anub? I know that's not how you say your name. Sorry. You know what? From now on, I'm going to say your last name. Rashawn. Oh my God, I said that wrong too. Rashnan. We got Gavin Cooley here in the chat. What's up, Gavin? And yes, AK Geeks, Rasha, DC family in the chat. We are all here. And look who else is here but the Zeverfed himself. There he is. Yes, I am right here. And Ryan, I know it's late for you, but I sent you a link. So if you want to jump on, please do. We are going to talk about the whole Geekocity article and kind of what that was all about earlier. As Sil Abdul, did a live stream earlier to talk about the scoop or article that they had come out with. But we'll talk about that in a little while. First of all, before we do anything else, I just want to say what's up to you guys. Because this is the best part of the show, is hanging out with you guys. It really is. Let's see, who else is in here? Hold on a second. There we go. Zeverfet, here he is. I know, right? Ryan, you're still up. Joker's here as well. Let me see. Let me get this comment off of there. There we go. That's a lot better. Let's see. He came because Jarbo kicked him. Well, Jarbo's coming on the show. So that's probably why he kicked him. But like I said, I did invite Ryan on here as well. So if he chooses to come on here, he is more than welcome to be here. Okay. I feel weird not wearing my headphones. I have these earbuds. It just doesn't feel the same. Doesn't feel the same. There's still a little bit of life in these. I'm just going to use these until they die. And I'm going to switch over to these ones. I'm just not used to hearing so much outside noise. I have near the cord. Did you take it? Where's the cord? Do you know? Whatever. Anyhow, we got Yovan here in the chat. What's up, DC fam? Nicotina, what's going on, man? He's saying, hey, Nicotina. I'm not saying hi to myself. Let's see. Fuck Prime Television. Here's where the party is at. Hey, thank you, Rasha. I appreciate that. That comment right there just makes my day. It really does. That's high praise. If I had the high praise skit, I would have played it right now, but I don't. Let's see. Yeah, we said Giovanna's here. I'm going to sleep. Well, hey, Ryan, why don't you come on just for like 5 minutes and talk about that? But if you have to go to bed, I understand. I like the chat option. What do you do? Like, you do voice chat in bed? I don't agree with that. Let's see here. Another thing I gotta check too is I'm using the right microphone as well, because sometimes it wants to jump in on my headphones, which I don't want to use. USB device. Yeah, it's on. It's working. Everything's working. I already sent you the link, Ryan. It's in your DM. So if you check that, it'll be there. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. MX Bravo. What's up, buddy? I know. I already have 1 or 2 dislikes. But it is what it is. Everyone's everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So if they dislike it already without the show even starting, then that's their decision. I don't care. I mean, I'm here because I like talking to you guys and hanging out with with especially these two guys. This guy right here. Oh, hey,
what happened to the chat? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So how do you get the chat like this? That's cool. I wish I didn't know you could do that.
It's a trade secret. Matt Jarbo's gonna do it too because he was doing it earlier.
Yeah. No,
Hey,
Matt was doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought he was using
Ryan.
OBS. What's up?
No,
Long time.
What's going on?
The fuck?
So technically, like all you do is you pull up your stream on YouTube, and then you click on the little three dots, and then it says pop out chat, and it pops the chat out as a separate window, and then you share screen that onto the screen, so it's always on there. Yeah. So if I wanted to, I can go like this, and it's always there. Which is pretty cool.
Like it.
Where are we?
We're gone.
You're gone. Or I can do this.
Yeah.
Or I can do this.
Yeah.
And this, I like
that's
this.
really cool.
Yeah, I was actually messing
that way
around
you don't
earlier.
have to keep clicking on people's. But I mean, if somebody puts something inappropriate, like nicotine has a little dick.
Well, let's.
I don't think you'd want to have that on your stream.
And it would be rude for someone to do that. Okay, you guys.
Look, I double dare, I triple dare anybody to put that in the chat.
No, let's not. I will block you if you do. I don't care if you're Sickness, Rasha, or Joker. I will block you.
I fully admit I brought the whole stream to full screen.
What's up, Alex? That's the whole reason why, because you can go full screen and you can see everything that's happening, which is nice.
Yeah, can you go full screen?
You got big boobies?
What do you mean? Like right now I'm full screen, so I'm seeing everything that you're seeing on that little screen.
Yeah.
Mine's full screen, so I can see what everyone's saying.
Oh yeah, click on the full screen button. Yeah, that's right.
It looks nice.
Nick has good. Big guns. Yes, right.
I think he meant biggins.
Biggins.
Yeah, biggins. Big boobs.
I want to get the newest issue of Biggins.
We used the word Grayson. Yeah.
Right. Use the word Grayson. And then of course Alex Kuzicast is here, but normally Alex is at work right now, which is why he can never jump on. So I always invite him. I always say, hey, I'll send you a link. I'll send him a link, and he never jumps on because he's working right now. But I did play his trailer not too long ago that him and his buddy put together for BVS. It was so good. So good. If I have it again, maybe I'll play it again tonight. It was just amazing. Yeah. I was going to use my other headphones, but now I don't even know where the hell the white cord went that connects it. Oh, well, screw it. So, guys, today we were... Okay. Jarbo, are you familiar with the article that was put out today by Geekocity?
Which one? I think he might have sent me a couple of them, to be honest with you. I gotta go. I was let's see. Is it the Berlanti will lead DC films?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's funny because I actually have that up. As soon as I brought a Messenger app on my phone, like it just popped up. Like, all right, he did send that to me.
Okay.
I was busy today. I was out of cell service, so I just didn't look at it.
Okay, so here is the article, and we'll go ahead and look at it right now.
The title is so misleading, according to the whole stream that I listened to. I don't know. It's very clickbaitish.
Well, he's. I can honestly tell you, he's currently trying to find the voice of this blog. Because he's like he wants to be perfect. He wants it to be. You gotta have a little bit of click, a little bit of pizzazz, right?
Yeah.
But he is trying to find his particular voice right now. I know that much. Because he was telling me that actually this morning.
Well, I mean, when you read the article, it sort of goes in a lot of different directions, and so it I think it raised more questions than it did answers per se. So it goes into talking about how they're going to put $70 million towards the Snyder Cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once thought dead by Warner Bros. Executives who honestly didn't want to proceed with the Snyder Cut at all. Which is, probably true. The DCEU is raging back to life with a rock-solid support. Rock, as in The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, because he wants his movie to be connected to the DCEU, from what we're understanding.
Right. And he's going through like New Line, and even though Shazam has ties to it, it's not really connected. In the narrative or in the timeline.
Exactly. But I mean, I like the idea that he wants it connected. And so then becomes, this whole, narrative that, what if they did change their minds? What if they were like, okay, Snyder is going to be in Elseworld. And then once that started to happen and they started talking even more about what they wanted to do, they sort of scaled that back and said, okay, hey, wait a minute. Maybe instead of that, maybe we'll make this the main story, the main canon line, and we'll connect Black Adam to it and Shazam to it, and just kind of go that route. I mean, do you guys think that's possible? That's what they're doing here? Is sort of instead of saying, hey, that's going to be an Elseworld story, that they're going to make that the actual canon, being like the main storyline.
Well, I mean, I think it's safe for them to write this article or this paragraph here concerning The Rock, because The Rock's story happens in the past, kind of like Wonder Woman, 84, and also the first Wonder Woman. So it really doesn't have any ties to the current timeline or present day narrative that they have going on. So they can do whatever the hell they want in the Black Adam movie and has really no effect, ripple effect on these movies here. So it's not until you get to maybe Black Adam 2 or Shazam 2 that you really have to kind of worry about that.
Yeah, I think they're going to like do it as more of a standalone. It's going to be tangentially tied because look, The Rock, he wants in on
what?
Well,
genitalia.
Who doesn't want genitalia entwined? I'm just saying, man.
You want a genitalia, don't you? You little
genitalia is tentatively inclined.
My genitalia, show me your genitals. Your genitals.
No, if you want to say it, go right ahead. He wants to say hi to you, Matt.
That's awesome.
He's a big fan.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of that R2.
Okay.
Kai, he's pushy.
He's just a.
He was very excited that you were going to be here because he's very analytical, and so are you, and he likes numbers, and so he thought that was a really good mix. But you're not. This isn't your damn show. It's my show. So here, back up.
God,
it's not off the table.
Oh man, that's the thing. I really wish I had the money to do when I went to Galaxy's Edge. I wish I could have gotten a droid.
I have a droid from Disney. I just
bro, that's not nice. Don't say that. Cena sucks. You haven't even seen Cena. You get that? You haven't seen him yet. I think his character's gonna be really cool. I mean, if they're giving him his own show, I mean, that says something about the character, right?
Yeah, and he's getting his own show.
Yeah, that's what it does say.
That's what it says.
Will Smith is greater than Dwayne Johnson, and Dwayne Johnson is greater than John Cena. Well, okay. Well, if they were wrestling, it'd be a little bit different. But no, at acting, yes, I agree. Will Smith is probably better.
So for longer.
Cena does suck. Loving God, so much hate here,
man. But hey, it's a volatile audience you have.
It's volatile. Hey, I'm telling you, these guys, they don't hold back. Restore the Snyderverse. I agree, Alex. I totally agree. Cena is so plastic looking. He kind of is. He's very steroid-ish. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, are you guys ready for more of this?
Andre.
Look at this guy. He looks like he's ready to kick some ass.
I love the helmet.
He looks like he's from the Power Rangers. Like one of the villains?
Yeah.
He looks like he's from like He-Man.
Yeah, He-Man.
That's what he looks like he's from.
Well, I mean, even look at the outfit. He-Man. The colors.
Yes, the colors. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Very cool.
Very cool.
The thing is, so here's my hot take on this one. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I want to see it. I want to see what they do with it. But I think Cena was the one that. Oh Jesus!
Yeah. Why are you hiding behind your icon?
I know. Why are you hiding behind your icon?
It's because it's late and I don't want to be on camera this late at night.
Because,
so
Ryan, you have to understand when you get past midnight.
You're right.
Matt likes to go shirtless, and so sometimes
you might get more viewers.
I can confirm that I'm not wearing pants. So
neither am I.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'm wearing
after a certain
shorts.
period of time, it's no shorts are not an option, sir.
No.
Nicotina, what are you wearing under that shirt?
Under my shirt, my bare chest. That's what I'm wearing under my shirt.
I thought maybe you had a man's ear.
I have a cybernetic body underneath here. I have a.
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
Okay, so the article goes on to say, let's see, Molly, stop. Now my dog's freaking out.
That's not a denial.
Look at this guy.
Not a denial.
I'm Kevin Feige. I'm on top of the world.
Oh God, that's a hideous smile.
I know. Like, why would they pick that? I mean, he
like,
on purpose.
The picture.
He's just like, here, I want to put a really shitty image of him, and then I'm going to zoom in on it too, so it looks even more awkward. So this talks about how The Rock wants it to be connected, and it's talking about how, let's see right here. Black Adam can blast through. Why does he gotta say blast through? Rock's desire for
to penetrate the DCEU
for full penetration of the DCEU.
Yeah,
Black Adam can blast through. Played a huge role in its future as WB wanted to focus on standalone director-driven movies like Joker. That Matt Reeves, the Batman, ignores past continuity for now is further evidence of WB's initial plans. But the DCEU didn't meet expectations of either competing with the this light is so bright in my eyes. I have this selfie light, and it's like,
see, now you know why I'm not on camera. It's because it's like I don't want to turn all the lights on. I'm like, I just want to sit here and listen.
Here, I'm gonna read like this. There we go.
There you go. Yeah, put your glasses on, Andre.
Disney's MCU.
Read it from the beginning, Andre.
Start over again. You fucked up.
I'm done. Oh yeah, I'll be like Matt in the early days, and where
the contenders.
Where you would screw up and I gotta start over again.
Oh yeah, I've done. Oh my god, from the so many videos like that. 25 minutes into a rant, and then I fuck up, and I'm like, gotta go back to the beginning because I'm too lazy to edit.
Feige is more than just a producer. He's a creative mastermind, well versed in Marvel Comics history, and equipped with a deep affection and knowledge of the film Double whammy. The DCU's Jeff Johns matched Feige's comic book smarts, but his vision was in contrast to director Zack Snyder's darker, cynical approach to superheroes, which is probably why Johns seems more comfortable with Greg Berlanti's DC programs. The Contenders. So how do we jump to the Contenders all of a sudden? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It kind of jumps to that where we're like, wait, what's this? The Contenders. I know. He's getting worried over here.
Let me take a look. Oh,
who turned it down?
So the Contenders would be if WB.
I don't know why he's a contender because he turned it down.
Well, now here's the key word. If WB is going to pursue the DCEU like they are discussing, but that's the thing. This is all speculation. And I asked this question on Still Stream. I said, so are they looking for this type of figure? Question. Well, I did too. He pulled up my question and he answered it when I.
Yeah, but I asked it before you.
Yeah, but he ignored yours.
I know he did.
So I asked him. I said, "Are they looking for this, or is this speculation?" And when he asked him, he said, "Speculation." Alex, yeah, I know. Hell no to Berlanti.
If Ryan, I recall correctly, Sil said you should know better.
Well. Still said a lot of things tonight.
Yeah.
And God bless him as well. So
he pulled the stream down. I can't watch it.
He pulled it down.
I think
because Andre hits me up. He's like, "Did you see Sil stream?" And I'm all like, "No." Yeah, you got to go watch it, dude.
End well.
What? Okay, so that's why. Because
so the reason why I hit you up, Matt, is because I wanted you to watch it because we were going to talk about this article anyway, and I figured you hadn't read the article yet because you just got home. So I said, "Hey, why don't you go watch that so that we're all on the same page?" But then Sil decided to take it down for creative differences, and and now we're here.
I should hit him up and be like, "Yo, where's that stream?"
You're like, if Enosh can hang on to the
if Enosh can show cock and balls, then you can definitely show.
Oh man, he was so flustered at that too. It was like this. He posted it in the private chat.
Oh god, I can't unsee that. That's so gross.
The Contenders that they're saying is J.J. Abrams for one, which I say no way. And it talks a little bit about it. I'm not going to go into all that. Jim Lee. Ding, 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 ding. And that's what I thought too. But now they're talking about his failed comic book.
It doesn't matter.
He is a comic legend, and
if he's a good businessman who knows how this multiverse should work,
but
then he's a creative.
Right, but that's the thing is that I don't think you can hold that the failing of DC Comics with him because the fact that look, people don't buy physical media anymore. They don't. I mean, especially the youth of America. Kids aren't buying magazines. Kids aren't really. I mean, books is one thing in novels, but a lot of them they're buying it digital, especially comic books. You know how many?
Well, he's going to head up. He's going to head up DC Universe, which is going to hold a lot of digital comics.
Exactly. So then,
and that's actually, and it's really well formatted, by the way. Like I have to honestly say, reading comics on my TV, it's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Really surprised at how fluid it is, and I'm like, yeah, do that.
I really want to subscribe to DC Universe again because all I want to do is read the comics because they put everything on there, which is so great.
Yeah.
But Jim Lee would be a good. I think would be a good choice.
Be great. He doesn't have to worry about the financial aspects of it. They could break that responsibility down and give that to somebody else.
Exactly. What's up, Koopy Malik? He's in the chat. So, and then the next guy that they go into is none other than Ryan's favorite, Greg Berlanti. That's a weird picture of the poor guy. God, he almost looks like
I put my characters in leather.
My characters have their failures. Or what was it? Remember?
We're good for one season.
Yeah. Maybe
I reuse the same villains over and over and over again.
Yeah. Somehow they keep getting out of jail.
Somehow John Barrowman has not been Me Too'd.
Okay, you know what? Earlier on the Four Nerds show, you guys were talking about overrated shows or overrated movies.
Yes.
So I was in the chat, spewing some garbage, and I wanted to say that I thought
you were trying to get us to play some bullshit. I was like, no, we ain't playing that crap.
I thought
not
it was
on our
funny.
show. Maybe we can play that on the Nicotina show.
Oh, we're going to, so don't worry about it. I had just gotten it, so I sent it over, but I didn't even know if he had gotten the DM because he wasn't responding. If one thing he said, "Yeah, I got it," just hang on. He didn't say anything.
He didn't respond at all. We didn't get any DM, so we couldn't really, say anything about it. But
I wasn't about to go DM everybody. Like, let everybody look. I just sent to him.
You sure spammed the chat.
Well, he wasn't responding. I'm like, dude, are you not seeing me? You're being kind of rude right now. But it's his show, so I understand. So I just ended up dropping it at one point. Comic book stores go away. I'll cry. Like when the video stores went away. Yeah, but video stores,
comic book stores are going away.
They are going
away.
Because
they are losing their business. This is a small business. They don't get a small business loan. They don't have employees.
So, Ryan, you're a big fan of Greg Berlanti and his work.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so Greg Berlanti is the next choice. And we've already said that Alex is like CWDC is horrible. So now you have Berlanti, and we talked about earlier, or in the article at least, he talked about how he's already got his hands kind of into the whole CW universe. I
think he's going to stay on the television side of things. And I think that's it. I think Berlanti's going to stay there.
Matt, what do you think?
I think HBO Max is really where they're going to put him. Because Doom Patrol is his, right?
Yeah.
And then Titans is going to clearly go over there because they're getting DC Universe. Although that hasn't really been talked about. They said that DC Universe is ending its scripted content, right? And it's moving over into the comic books subscription.
What's up, Leo?
But we haven't seen anything about Titans.
Okay. Well, we heard that they had they have a season 3 already shot, and that's it.
Where are you right now, Ryan? All of a sudden, I hear echo.
Oh, no, I'm standing. So now I'm. This is not Sil Abdul Inc.
I don't think he flushed when his show ended.
No.
Courtesy flush. So, Greg Berlanti was the next choice. After him, it goes over to the man himself, Zack Snyder.
Now, I think if he's in that position, it'd be narratively great, but I think he'd get burnt out.
Well, I think that he's a filmmaker. He doesn't want to be tied down to like, hey, so I'm in charge of all this, and
I agree.
When am I going to make my own movies and do my own thing? I don't have time to sit here and be an architect for the whole DCEU, unless that's what he wants. Obviously, look, if he wants to do it and that's his passion, then yeah, he's an obvious choice. But I don't think he's going to want to give up his whole movie making career to be this person. You see how much Kevin Feige's involved with everything happening at Marvel. That's a full-time job.
Yeah. But then again, it's Feige's a producer. He's a creative producer.
Yeah,
and he's very hands-on. I do see here. I see what your point. I see what you're saying about him maybe not wanting to be part of it. However, after the last couple years, don't you think he's going to go? Yeah, fuck those guys. I'm gonna come on in. I'm gonna wave my big dick energy. I'm gonna big dick slap freaking Jeff Johns across that little fucking whiny ass face. And then he might do it.
Yeah, it'd be cool, but I mean, again, I just would fear that he'd get burnt out on.
No, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that one as well. But I mean, clearly he does love the characters. Clearly he does love the world. And if he does have the 5, film arc that he wants to do, I could see him going like, yeah, all right, like we'll kind of establish what's going on. Or maybe I'll just tackle these movies and like just kind of pick out the ones he wants.
Right.
But then again, look at like what Deborah Snyder had said about when they were producing it. It's like we worked with a couple directors, David Ayer, Patty Jenkins, James Wan. They picked him. So, so it's not that he hasn't already kind of helped create and architect this world. He's also just what problem with it was because he was so divided creatively.
We got a glimpse of Ryan.
Oh, that's cool.
I like that lighting. You should go with that more often.
Okay.
You should do this when you do your Batwoman reviews.
My Batwoman. I haven't seen Batwoman yet. So
hold on.
You're not really missing out on anything.
What's up, Jesse?
Yeah,
no,
I just haven't had a desire.
I've chosen not to watch it as well, not by choice. I just haven't. I don't have.
I just don't have interest.
Yeah, no, I have interest. No interest.
No interest.
And
I just don't care.
we went into a dick slapping quick and out of here nowhere. So guys, I mean, look, I agree with what Matt is saying. I think it would be in a sense like his own power play to come in there.
Still brought up Deborah. What do you think about Deborah? She's a producer.
I think that if you put
she's not, I don't know if she's a creative.
Well, but I mean,
see, you can't tie Zack down to Deborah as far as like, like, hey, I need your attention over here. If he's off shooting something else,
well,
because then he's of two minds.
If you put the Snyders in that position, let's say, and then that allows Zack to leave to go do what he wants, his other projects, and when those come up, then you still have Deborah there who's communicating with him and making decisions as well. That's just an idea. Now, am I saying it's the right idea? No, but I'm saying that's something that I could see happening because it happens all the time with people when they have, in everyday life where they get their wives involved. Now I'm going down a weird topic, but you see what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
No.
You got 9 in your life? No, you don't.
So,
are you looking for the chat to say yes, we understand what you're saying, or us?
No, I'm just pulling up chat because they're talking.
Oh, okay.
See, hey Ryan, hey Matt. So all I'm saying is that if they were to put him in that position and he wanted Deborah to be in that position with him, that would allow him flexibility to go do other projects, not be tied down to having to stay locked into what's ever happening there because he has somebody he can trust there. But that's to say that she even has that kind of creative ability. When it comes to making those kind of decisions, in terms of,
yeah, I mean, her wheelhouse might be something, she might be really good at a different, aspect of her producer role.
Well, Bravo says, I like Matt's idea, but I fear Zack is too much of an artist and a fanboy instead of a marketing and business head.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, I mean, what they need, this is where Jim Lee would probably come in. I think Jim Lee is the best choice. And I say that because when you had the multiverse panel, it was Jim Lee, Hamada, and Berlanti.
Yeah.
And they were tackling the 3 separate sides, comics, movies, and TV. That wasn't done on accident. That was meant to promote synergy amongst the brand. And that is probably where we're looking. So the Warner Media is most likely maybe going to do like Jim Lee, Hamada split responsibilities. And I say that because they did that before with Jeff Johns and John Berg after BVS's release in 2016. They kind of put these co-heads in there. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, Hamada has not done much.
He hasn't.
He hasn't. True. And what he's put out hasn't necessarily done well. It's true.
I mean, did he put out Aquaman?
That was done under, those were greenlit under Johns.
Yes, it was.
So those were, I don't know if
I thought Joker
might have been a Hamada thing. Joker might have been a Hamada thing.
Hamada came on once Aquaman was already greenlit and in production.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
they
like
had to
Joker,
get Wonder Woman 84 and Aquaman under the table before they got kicked out or let.
And I will say that I do feel like Joker. I love Joker. I think it was a good movie, but it's also not like it's not really a comic.
It's not
movie.
Joker.
It's not
Joker, but not Joker.
It's Joker as if done by Martin Scorsese and also ripping off Martin Scorsese. But it's still a good movie and it's worth all the accolades and praise.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, and that's fine too. I think when but look at Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey did okay. It did okay financially.
I don't think it did, really?
It did okay. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do.
Really hoping for like the on-demand aspect of it to really bring in extra money because it didn't do so well.
Well, it also, because it also came out in February, we went into shutdown in March.
Yeah.
So if it was looking for a wider release, like it was going to be a spaced out release over time, it never had the opportunity for that, which is why they dropped it on VOD in early March.
Yeah.
And I watched it when it came out, and my girlfriend and I sat down, we watched it, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I just wasn't impressed by it, like any of it. I don't, every time someone talks about that goddamn fucking egg sandwich scene and they're like, oh my God, like that is such, but then I hear like, oh, it's because you're a guy, you don't get it. And I'm like, what do you mean?
I love egg sandwiches.
That doesn't make any sense. I love it.
Yeah.
Too.
It's like, well, have you ever been like,
woo!
You just have such a bad day that you just want to have an egg fucking sandwich, and then life comes along and it fucking knocks it out of your hands. And I'm all like, yeah, I have days like that all the time. It's called go to the fridge, get a beer, and fucking move on with your life.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't, the movie, it's like a 5-minute sake. It just, oh my God, Kathy Yan, please don't touch anything ever.
Right. Well, I mean, so the problem that I have is that, Kathy and also, the girl that's now writing The Flash that wrote this, they're just both wet behind the ears. They don't have a lot of, tenure. They don't have a huge resume, in their respective, in
their field.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, why are you going to put so much? And the reason why Kathy Yan was picked was because, Margot Robbie handpicked her because, hey, number one, she wanted somebody that she could control, because she wanted to remain, that's why everybody else's costume looked like shit compared to Margot Robbie's, aside from the stupid pom-pom sleeves. Those were freaking ridiculous.
That was a terrible costume. That was a horrible costume.
You guys, was it Chris Messina who played Zaz is like, I really want to come back and play the character again. Like, yeah, can we just write off Birds of Prey like it's a fucking Elseworld movie? And like,
yes, we should. It should go all in line with Justice League. It should just connect with Justice League and die with Justice League.
But it directly connects to Ayer's Suicide Squad in the sense that it shows, the back of the head or the weird angle shot of the Joker, and he's in the same. It's Leto's Joker, played by somebody else, obviously, but the movie connects to that storyline.
It doesn't matter. I can erase it from my brain.
I mean, I erased Alien 3 from my brain.
Yeah.
Alien Resurrection.
I mean, what they could do is they could come in and they could just, just like the Suicide Squad. You have David Ayer's Suicide Squad, and then you have James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. They could make The Birds of Prey and actually make a damn good film. Show us a good, Huntress. Bring in a fantastic Black Canary, show us Batgirl, a real Batgirl, not one that's going to swallow a diamond and have to freaking take, Malox to fucking poop this shit out.
Right.
But
it's true though. Like what MX Bravo was saying, Birds of Prey and Shazam had terrible marketing. Shazam is a Christmas movie, but it came out at the same time as Endgame.
Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense. Why would you even put that up against that?
Well, it came out a whole month before Endgame.
I know, but still, I mean, that.
But it came out a month after Captain Marvel.
Yes.
Right? Like that was the biggest problem. It wasn't Endgame, it was Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That's what fucked it up. So
it came out in between both of them. Okay, so you've got people who went and wasted their money for Captain Marvel because they thought that it was going to connect. It was like, it was a must see, right? And so they spent their money to go see that. And then they had to save their money to go watch Endgame. So they're like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to go watch, Shazam. I wasted it on freaking Captain Marvel. Here's another Captain Marvel, but from DC, and DC doesn't have quite a great track record right now. So that's kind of what hindered it completely. It should have been released, like MX said, in December.
Yeah. It should have been in December. I mean, the whole movie takes place during Christmas, but yet it came out when? In
the spring.
In
April.
Spring.
Came out in April. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Because that's the release date.
Was there a Star Wars coming out at the end of that year?
At the end of 2019, yeah.
No, that would be the Force Awakens. I mean,
no, that was Rise of Skywalker. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's probably why they wanted to stay away from that. But I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, that awesome movie.
But they could have also put Shazam out in summer. You know what I mean? They could have put Shazam out. Shazam probably should have been like a Thanksgiving. Should have come out like during Thanksgiving. I think would have been good.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
still
had that vibe. Yeah.
Christmas time. See, here's the problem though, is even though Aquaman did very well in regards to its release, it was up against Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Mary Poppins, and Bumblebee, and all four of those were out like within a week and a half of each other.
Yeah, and what's the name wrote Bumblebee? So
yeah, Christina Hodson. I hate. I mean, I'm looking at my Bluray copy of it right now, and I'm like, I'll just give it to somebody.
Yeah,
I really didn't like the movie.
It is what it is.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial was a better movie.
So it is what it is. But I liked the opening battle scenes in Cybertron.
Because that didn't have anything to do with her.
Yeah, I was
everything to do with the director.
Well, yeah, that was actually that was a late minute addition to the film.
Yes.
There's actually the original opening of the movie is on the
Blu-ray.
Supposed
to have Megatron, but they took him out because of Megatron from the Bayverse, Bayformers.
I hate the Bayformers look. It's just overly there's just so much shit going on that you're just like hello. Like there's a scene in Dark of the Moon, I want to say, where they're in the shuttle and they're like talking to each other. And I remember my wife was like, we're watching it, and my wife goes, I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. There's just like so much shit happening on the screen. Yeah. I was like, what were they thinking? Like, but the way they looked in Bumblebee in that opening battle scene, that's how they look
G1
starts. Yeah, they
and that's the way they could look.
Exactly. Yes. And they tried to make it more high tech and more alien looking.
They tried to make it more alien. Yes, that's what they were going for, and that's the same thing they did with the turtles. They were trying to make them a little bit more alien instead of making them more turtle based or whatever. Same thing, still a Bay production. But yeah, no. So she's attached to the Flash movie, and so there's so much hindering on this Flash movie. And Ben Affleck actually had notes to like change some things or add some things because I'm hoping that they've taken so much from her that it's not really her movie or not really her screenplay. So
I don't think Andy Muschietti will let it. I think Muschietti is gonna sit there and like rewrite everything, because like look at it. He worked with Gary Doberman.
There was that one cringe scene in it though. What was it? Was it It 1 or It 2 where it was those two guys at the carnival and then these other guys just beat the shit out of them? That's
the beginning of book. Well, no, that's from the beginning. That's really? Actually from the book.
Because I thought it was way over the top.
Well, that was the point. It was meant to be over the top. It was meant to be. So the symbolism in the book was that it had returned. I
was like, good Lord.
Well, no, because that was the thing.
What's wrong with these people?
Exactly.
It was meant to showcase that it had returned after 30 years. It was supposed to be something like brutal and violent, and that was.
I understand about him being eaten in the water. I'm talking about the douchebags that were just acting like assholes.
Oh yeah, homophobia. I mean, homophobia in those towns, man. Like that's the whole point. They were trying to treat it like Matthew Shepard, and I thought it worked well with the effect that they were going for.
I don't know. I thought, if they just like called them names, threw things at them or whatever, I've been like, okay, they're assholes, just whatever. But then the clown comes in like, just real asshole and fucking kills him.
Well, if you recall or remember, the idea is that Pennywise influences the worst behavior of people. And then because his job is to spread fear, and then that's how he also gets stronger.
Yeah.
So because that was at the end of the movie when they're like, "We're not afraid of you, you little bitch," and he's like, "No, please stop, no, please," and he's like, "Oh, look, he's little Andy Signor." So that's the end of it. I mean, like that was the whole point. It was to cause fear. So it causes people to, I mean, look at Henry Bowers, like tells him like kill your father, Henry, like that kind of thing. So he just does it. And yeah, moving on.
Dr. Fate, Michael Bay for Deadpool 3? No way.
I don't think Deadpool has enough explosions.
I think Deadpool is. I mean, what do you think? Is Deadpool dead? I think it's kind of dead. I don't see them resurrecting that character and being the same way that he was.
He can't be. He'll be Disneyfied.
Koopy Malik, Alien 3. That's a good one. No, I didn't like it. And you could tell the studio fucked with it too because it's so like convoluted. It's so choppy. It's just a weird movie. Nothing feels right about that movie. We have incoming. Are you okay?
Wow.
Ryan, what's happening right now?
I got a visitor.
Oh,
what is this? Jolly Rancher? Yeah. Okay.
I wish my kids would show up in the middle of the night and give me candy. That's awesome.
3 in the morning.
At 3 in the morning.
You know you're probably doing okay when a kid is giving an adult candy in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we're fine here. The roles are reversed. Everyone go home.
We're fine here. We're fine now.
Make sure you check the razor blades.
Boring conversation anyway.
Well, Ryan, are you going to stick around or do you have to go to bed?
I should go to bed. I have to wake up in 4 hours.
You have to work tomorrow.
On. I was on with Matt and I was like,
we chatted for like 2 hours. I did a preview. I did a pre-stream and then I linked people over here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We
got 30, If it wasn't for Matt,
33 people here in the chat at 12:41 a.m. on West Coast time. I don't know what time it is over there. Actually, it's like 2:41.
If you have not subscribed to Zebra Fed, go subscribe right now.
Subscribe to Zebra Fed. He's a good guy. Also, if you guys have not seen this yet, please check out his Tenet review beginning at the end. It's really good, although I've heard it's good. I haven't watched it yet because I haven't seen the goddamn movie yet because the theaters are not open where I live. They're not open.
Yeah.
And on top of that, check out our good friend Dawson Weidrich over at Nerdy in Many Ways. He has a review for the Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
I saw that in theater.
So did I.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Wow. I never saw that one in theaters, actually.
I saw it in the theater. You know what? I was surprised by it too because I wasn't sure what was gonna.
I went with my dad, and my dad was like, it's a cartoon, right? I was like, yes, it's Batman.
It is?
You shut up, Dad.
No way.
Yeah. He was expecting a live action Batman.
So, what is this? Nick is Mask of the Phantasm. Any good? I thought it was good. I liked it. If you asked me to detail you the whole story right now, I could not because I haven't seen it in years. Well, it's been a long time since I've seen the movie, but I remember liking it a lot.
No, it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Get out of here.
It's got Mark Hamill as the Joker. It's got Kevin Conroy as Batman. Can't get any better than that.
No theaters open in Washington. Matt, can you confirm?
No, theaters are open.
Oh, maybe it's not Washington. Maybe he's talking about. I don't know. What else is WA?
That'd be Washington. I mean,
Washington.
my theaters are open. Let me see here. Cinemark near me.
Let's see. Coop Malik says, Nicotina, yes, it is a big summer. Wait, it's a big bummer. I'm all summer as a sequel. Besides, Alien series doesn't have a solid story between the movies. But I wonder if Dead Space ever got a movie adaptation. I don't think so. Here's Gavin Cooley. I want to see Leto's Joker kill Grayson. It would break the audience hearts. Oh, I know. It totally would. It would break this guy's heart especially.
It would. It would definitely break my heart.
But I think that if you explore a Batman solo series or movie, you have to have some of that in the movie, that element that of Robin dying or him getting the shit kicked out of him in a brutal way, just to show how much trauma and how much that affected him, which will which will add more layers to his character in both BVS and in Justice League.
Yeah.
Dude, they're showing fucking Akira in 4K in my theater.
Okay, so I guess that report is wrong, Kevin. I don't know where you live in Washington, but wherever Matt is at, I think he's near Seattle.
I'm in Washington D.C.
No, I'm in Olympia. I'm in
Olympia. Go to Olympia, and you can go watch a movie. Oh,
I've never seen Akira. It's Japanese.
For Ryan. Ryan is out.
Yeah, it's freaking. It's subbed too.
What was that?
I hit the wrong link. I was like, whoops.
Let's see here. Because Jeff Jones. So Matt. So the whole point of the stream, not the whole point, but a large portion of the stream was going to be talking about you, and your illustrious career on YouTube. You've been doing it for quite a while.
Sure, I've been at this game. I've been at this for a while now. I think that's pretty accurate. So, where did it all start with you? I mean, like, what got you going? I mean, obviously, you said that you were always a talker, but what kind of gave you, like, where did you start off putting yourself out there? Was it on YouTube, or was it something else prior to YouTube? Well, I think the very first I did a gaming podcast for like 9 months in 2007.
I saw your message. I'll check it out. See, that's all Dawson had to do. Instead, he just decided to ignore, and
he
like
just kept clicking above and below your comments.
Yeah, I was just like, dude, just say, yeah, I'll check it out, dude. And that's it.
That was hilarious.
And then he pissed me off. So I was like, did you see my DM?
Yeah, he didn't click on that either. That was so funny.
I wrote his name in caps, like Dawson. I'm like, you fucking asshole. And I'm on my phone too. So like, if I move away, or like, go to Twitter and come back, the connection gets all jacked up at work. So I was like locked into the stream. I was like, I can't go anywhere.
We had you.
Yeah.
Like Clockwork Orange.
What is this? Oh, so Matt, go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted you and that was rude. I apologize.
Yeah. Wow.
So no, I started doing a gaming podcast in 2007. And that lasted about 9 months. And then in 2008, I started doing a zombie podcast. It was a zombie survival podcast, which I still want to bring that back. I would interview people about how they would survive a zombie outbreak. It's interesting because most people wouldn't, because they don't know anything about how to survive a zombie outbreak, let alone anything. Although I think it's relevant now in COVID. It's going to be like, how would you survive a zombie outbreak? I would stay the fuck put.
I would wear a mask.
Yeah. I'd go outside. I would only go to Walmart when necessary. I would only wear a mask every time I'm outside. And I would nowadays it's Netflix and chill all day. And I could live through it. Okay. This is going to suck for a podcast, but there we go. And then so I was in film schools also from 2005 to 2007. I was in film school. And then I started working on films and other projects around San Diego. And then eventually, the thing was like, we never thought about YouTube as a medium worth really exploring when I was in film school, because it was like, everything was like, it was down to 10 minutes. You could only upload in 10-minute increments at the time. Mm-hmm. And we were like, well, no one's watching, no one's really watching footage on the, shit on the internet. So because the thing is, when you do short films, if you want, at the time, it was like, if you want to go to the film festival circuit, you couldn't put it on the internet. There's like stipulations. It can't be premiered on the internet. It has to go through these short films, these competitions, which cost a lot of money to enter. So you're stifled in regards to trying to build a digital presence for yourself. So oftentimes you just don't really think about it, because it was never something that you could use as like a viable, ability to like get your shit seen. And then of course you would always hear like certain movies would get or certain short films would end up getting going viral, and they'd always be purchased by some shit, and you're like, damn it, should have put that really crappy 2-minute film up on fucking YouTube and maybe I would have made something. So there's always that. And then when I was living in LA, a friend of mine had a viral video. Well, like it was a parody of Justin Bieber's Baby, right? But instead of Baby-O, it was Mario. It's like Mario, right? And so what it was is he shot this thing with his girlfriend. He had like just a Mario plushie and a Yoshi plushie, and he went to Universal City Walk and ended up just putting it on, shooting it like there with his phone or his camera or whatever. And the thing got like 4 million clicks.
Wow.
And it paid his rent for like almost a whole year. Back when you could make money, and it was really good money on YouTube because not a lot of people were doing it. And
now
I'm like,
and now it's overly saturated. I mean,
it's so overly saturated, and there's it's like my
yeah,
God,
we
man.
don't do this for money. We just do this for fun.
Yeah,
I just do it for clicks.
I do it for clicks.
The clicks. I don't even know what that means.
I do it for clicks and the subs, baby.
So
no money, that comes later.
The topic of zombie survival has really taken the chat by storm here. Rasha says, I live in New Zealand. We don't need a plan. We're an island. We close our borders, stay home. What happens if someone gets sick in your island? Then you're screwed. You think about that?
You got to fight.
You got to fight. You just got to kill them all and burn them.
You're probably going to have to like approve that particular link I just posted because it's probably going to get caught in the filter.
What is it?
It's it's for
it's from Enosh's stream.
No. It's it's the name of the podcast was called
what the hell was that?
Yeah, I don't see it up here. So the name of the podcast was called Survivalist.
Tony, poor Tony. He's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me check.
He was like, "Oh God,
what is this?" Here it is. Oh, what's this? You didn't send me anything.
Oh, it must have gotten actually blocked.
Did you DM it?
No. I'll just.
Oh, you put it in the private chat? Where are you?
No. It's on the thing. I put it $3 Theater. It's on the.
Oh, I see it now.
So it's survive. So it's called The Survivalist is the name of the podcast. So you can go to survivalist.com. I haven't updated it in a long time.
Excuse me.
So it's old shit, but it's there, and then like the podcasts are there. And you can listen.
Highlighting it.
Yeah, I don't know if you're highlighting it.
You're like,
I want to bring it back because I feel I could be a better host than I did back then. And
how old were you then?
It's just 2010 was the last time I worked on it, I think.
Oh.
So
you were like 45 then, right?
Yeah. 38 now. It's kind of weird going backwards, like Benjamin Button and shit. But yeah, no, I was. Button. I was like, I was trying to. I was in LM. I was trying to like make it work for me, and then I was actually doing okay. Like each episode, we get like about 1,000 downloads, which was actually pretty decent for.
Oh, that's me. Don't say that. Should be patient zero.
Oh, at least type Jeff correctly.
I know. So you started out by doing the zombie survivalist, and then while you were going to film school.
No, the year after I graduated, it was randomly. So Skype used to do what they called like Skype, like Hangouts or whatever they were called, right? Basically, they were kind of like Discord chats or whatever, where you could like just go, I'm going to host this Skype room, and I'm going to go, I want to talk about movies, and that's like your title, right? Is you title it, and then you go in there and like you could treat it like so then it kind of becomes like StreamYard to an extent, where like we're talking, and if people want to come on in, you give them the link and they can go to the waiting room, and then you can just bring them in one at a time or however many you want and talk about it and then move them out.
This is on Skype.
This is on Skype before Microsoft bought it and turned it to shit. And so this is awesome. And then one night I'm on there talking to some dude from Arizona, and we're talking about zombies, and he's like, we start get on the subject.
Matt, before we go any further, Ryan, I know you have to go, so I just want to say thank you for being here. I just want to talk to you a little bit early on about the whole Geekocity article. And I know you have to work in about 3 hours, so you should probably get a little bit of shut eye.
It's gonna suck, but
and then wake up
it was worth it.
Red Bulls.
Yeah, I don't do Red Bulls, but yeah. So hey, you guys have a great night, man. It was good talking to you both.
Yeah,
and I'll see you guys next time.
Later on, man.
Okay, now we can get into this. Okay, so at what point did you start to take this? Okay, so you were doing Skype, and at that time, that's what you guys used as a platform, because obviously StreamYard didn't exist then, and this whole streaming business was pretty new at that time.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even streaming; it was just like podcasting. You know what I mean? Like, so what I would do is there's a program called Pamela. It's like Pamela for Skype, and like you can record Skype calls with it, because otherwise it was really difficult to record it. We didn't have like OBS to do screen records. It was so different back then, such archaic technology. And so I did that for a while, and it was fun. But then like it just got to be like I just got busy, and I just I forgot to do a new season. Because what I would do is I'd go on Craigslist and I would post like looking for podcast guests, and I'd pick what it is, and then people would email me, and then these are people who live local in LA, and I'm like, just tell me where the fuck you live. Right? We'll just do it that way. So then I would, and some of these are fun, and some of them are like really stupid. Some people have really well thought out plans, which are, I'm not going to lie, those are boring, by the way. If someone's like, I'm going to go to my cabin in the woods where I have an entire garden and 3 years worth of food, I'm going to sit. Well, that's not fun.
Yeah, that's not fun.
I can't, how am I going to talk you through a thing if it's whatever? But, so yeah, I did that for a while. And then, in the beginning of 2012, so about a little about 8.5 years ago now, I was unemployed, and I was on unemployment. I was literally on food stamps, and I was angry at the world. I was just angry at a whole bunch of stuff. And I thought, you know what? Like, I'm going to get into doing YouTube. I'm just going to do social commentary. Originally, I was going to do gaming with that friend of mine who had the viral video. He was going to do Nintendo coverage. I was going to do Xbox and PlayStation coverage. But what happened was I ended up getting a copyright strike from the makers of Gears of War 3.
God damn that copyright strike. It just ruins everything.
It does. But the thing is though, like it was an overextension or whatever, overreaction. The game itself, Gears of War 3, had been leaked online. And so any videos that had Gears of War 3, even though the multiplayer beta was open to be showcased, got hit with copyright strikes. And so I told this to my friend, and then he immediately like killed the deal. He immediately killed working together because he's like, I can't afford to get a copyright strike. This is how I pay my fucking rent, which I get, but he was a real dick about it. And at the time I was like, all right, dude, whatever, man. Like, fine. I'll work on it on my own. And I did. I started a channel, but I couldn't keep up with that. You don't make any money at it, and it's just difficult to do. And I was trying to like become a writer. I was trying to get into do work writing. I was doing social media teaching. I was doing all these things. And then I thought to myself, like, why don't I just like vent my frustrations by becoming the most antagonistic piece of shit I can be? And I thought, I have an iPhone, and I can record audio, and I can upload it to YouTube directly from my phone.
Right.
And I did. So I chose an account that I had created in 2009 called Mundane Matt that was meant to be for fucking movie reviews. I'm not kidding you. And I just sat dormant, but it was in the YouTube partnership program, so I could get money on it. And so I chose to start making that the moniker and just ranting about stuff. And what really blew up right off the bat was that Coney 2012 thing happened. And the thing is, those guys are from San Diego, and I was from San Diego, and we ran in similar circles. Like, they didn't know me, but like I knew about them, and a lot of people knew about them, and a lot of people didn't fucking like them because they're kind of douchey. And so like I did a video, I think I was like Coney 2020 beware the scam or some shit. I just bitched. I was clickbaity a little bit, I was all like, fuck those guys. Like, cause the thing is, like, they were literally douchebags, like the dad of the guy, the main guy, Jason, whatever his name is, came to a meeting I was at, and was all like, guys, like, filmmakers really need to help out the Ugandan children. Like, you should take whatever money.
Jason Russell.
Yeah. Like his dad. And he's like, you should give money to us so we can give money to them. But you should sell what you have and then donate that money to us. So like, wait, what? Like, you don't go to filmmakers that are trying to like that pour all their money into buying, like the littlest piece of gear in order to make a better rig, and then go, it came across as just absolutely disingenuous, and it really angered a lot of people. And they also, like I said, they're not really well liked in San Diego. So that did pretty well. Blew up because, that was the most viral video of all time, and the algorithm just picked it up. And I mean, I made like fucking like $300 in like a week off that one video.
Wow.
That was insane. And I was like, holy shit. Well, this is also, sorry, I should also, there's a little backup point there. Thanksgiving, Black Friday, 2011, my girlfriend and I were at Walmart in Porter Ranch, which is in LA. And we happened to be present when there was a big kind of riot with video games at Walmart, like you do. And a woman pepper sprayed a crowd of people. And this, was like right after the protests following I forget exactly what they were protesting, but there was a campus officer who like pepper sprayed a crowd of people, right? It's
right.
Like
okay.
really iconic stuff. So my girlfriend pulls out her iPhone and she starts recording like, I think it's a minute 35 or some shit of this crowd of people and like security guards coming up and whatever, trying to get this woman out who had been like maced or injured. And I wasn't even paying attention. I was talking to the person next to me. I didn't even know she was recording. And then we go to leave and I get on Twitter and I'm just all like, yo, someone pepper sprayed a crowd of people over video games at the Porter Ranch Walmart, ... video to come. Thinking, we went about our business, went and did some more shopping. I get home about 3:00 in the fucking morning and I've got messages on Twitter from like Ryan Seacrest's people.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They wanted to see this video. So I looked at her, I said, hey, fucking Ryan Seacrest people, man, they want to see this video. Do you mind if we put it up? She's like, I don't care. I'm like, we could put it on my channel. I can monetize it. She's like, well, we need money. So, okay.
Makes sense.
So I threw it up there. Over the span of 5 days, it went viral, made about $800 in 5 days. And we decided to take the money and we went on a cruise to Mexico for my 30th birthday. And that was fun. And so we ended up doing that, and then that was like right before we went on this cruise. So I was already in the mood of like, wait, I made all this money on YouTube by just getting something viral. What if I can get something else that's viral? Again, by being an antagonistic dickbag. So that was kind of what happened. And then there was like the Trayvon Martin thing. I talked about that quite a bit. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that like the media was covering it one way. And I felt that the media was being rather disingenuous because they usually are.
Yeah.
And so I was covering it from like, I don't know if I'd say like, I mean, I might have said some pretty bad things back then, but I don't know, like not as bad as you might think. What I mean by that is like, I might not have been, I might have been insensitive because, when you're trying to be a shock jock sort of thing, you don't really care.
Right. Exactly. You're trying to get the reaction as opposed to caring about how you get the reaction. Yeah.
Now I care like a lot about how I get the reaction. So I'm very, very conscious about what I say and how I say it. Back then no one cared. Like I was an anonymous person on YouTube. Who gave a shit? Right. And like, I was like on Twitter, fucking saying crap. I was on 4chan saying shit. Like it was just like not a good place. And so I, we do that for a while and then, I made some money, but not enough to continue living in LA. So we actually ended up leaving, December of 2012. We moved back down to San Diego, moved back in with my family. I hated it. I fucking hated it. But still was working on YouTube. I would go to my car in the middle of the night and I would just rant in my car, because it was decent acoustics. And I would just yell and scream about shit all the time. And so, but it just kept going and going and going. And then I started kind of talking about gaming. And then in 2014, my girlfriend was like, look, I got to get the fuck out of San Diego. I'll go to Portland.
That's right, MX. So no one's commenting because everyone's listening.
No, that's fine. I'm a good storyteller. Subscribe to Nicotina. Anyway, so do it, Doug. So anyway, so we end up like she moves to Portland to live with my mom actually, and I stayed in San Diego to like earn some money. Well, she got a job and like whatever, because we had cats too. We had 5 cats at the time. Okay. So like, someone had to stay with the cats and I had a job and whatever. But then this was in June of 2014 and in August of 2014, because I could hit YouTube a lot harder if I don't have anything distracting me. Right. So like with her gone, I had all this time to like work on YouTube, and then Gamergate hit. And I happened to be kind of like center adjacent to that. And that blew me up. That was what you would call a big break. And that took me from like 9,000 subs to like 20,000 subs. And It just kept going and going and going. And then all of a sudden, like I went from making like 300 a month to making like 1,500, 2,000 a month, and I'm like, fuck, dude. And like, I can do this shit full time. And we ended up saving up money and then moved up to Portland in April of the next year.
And this is all you're doing at this point. You're
all I'm doing. Yeah. YouTube. And then when I got up there, it was a little bit of a tough start. Cause like, there was a cost of moving, and then there was
right. Exactly. Yeah.
Like trying to like, again, figure out like, like I had to get some temp work, which I didn't mind, and then then I think it was like around, about what, Thanksgiving 2000. No, it was like October, right after Halloween, 2015.
Joker, Matt is talking about his career or his life in a sense on how he got from there to here.
Yeah.
So
it's awesome shit, dude. It's awesome shit. And then just kind of kept going, through 2016 and 2017. We decided to buy a house, right? Because 2016, I made about 70 grand on here, right? Made a lot of fucking money. 2017, my God, I had a $10,000 month that blew my mind.
Are you serious? $10,000 in 1 month.
$10,000 month, yeah, blew my mind.
This is in 2017.
2016.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so at this point, what you're doing now is what you were doing at the time was working, because it sounds like you were actually generating quite a bit of income.
Yeah.
Just by doing YouTube.
Yeah.
But then what happened? I understand something went.
Yeah. So it was a combination of a number of things, but it kind of led to one specific thing. So in 2017, right before we closed escrow on our house, and right before my girlfriend quit her job where she was making over $70,000 a year, and right before we found out she was pregnant, the Adpocalypse hit. And the Adpocalypse was when the Wall Street Journal, and this is like, trust me, man, like this is where shit gets fucked up. So what you guys got, when Donald Trump was elected, all right, whatever your politics might be, when Donald Trump was elected, it pissed off a lot of people. It pissed off a lot of mainstream media people. And the reason why was because during the election in 2016, YouTube commentary over politics exploded exponentially.
Oh, I bet. I mean, at the time, I mean, that's a hot topic, especially when you have someone like Donald Trump being put into office. I mean, there's plenty to talk about.
Oh yeah, no. On election day, on the day after election day, I think I made $500 that day.
Wow.
On like 2 videos. That's how big it was. I mean, and then from there to the end of the year, it was like $300 a day. Not even kidding you. I'm not kidding you. I barely put in any effort. It was like $300 a day. It was fucking insane, dude.
You just go on there and talk.
I go in there and talk. Yeah. Just talk about shit. Fucking $300 a day.
But see, at this point, you're already carrying a large number of subscribers based on what you did in the past.
Yeah. I'd crossed 100,000 subs and everything else. And then, but the thing is like, I allowed myself to get like suckered into everything, right? Like to get really like, cause I was like, I'm not pro Trump. But I was anti-Hillary, and I'm pro Bernie, and so I would like kind of give Trump the benefit of the doubt because I didn't like Hillary. And that was bad. And and I admit that now. I admitted that like last year too, but whatever. And so the idea there was just, you don't even really think about it at the time, because it was just, everything was happening. Like you would just get up, you would look for like what's going on in the world. You talk about it, very simple. And then you're done. And you can be done with everything in less than 2 hours. And that's your day. You work for 2 hours. You make a few $100. You go back to playing video games. That's it. Right. Wow. It was like this simple existence of just, you were money.
Like, this is great.
This is like, why the fuck would I want to do anything else? This is fantastic. Well, yeah. So when Donald Trump got elected, this is when the mainstream media turned their attention to YouTube in the negative and started going after political commentators. They went after PewDiePie because he was the top dog. Right. And they'd found like a bunch of instances of not the most savory humor. And, but a lot of it was steeped in internet lore. And the thing with the internet is it's a vast, wild, disgusting, terrible, amazingly beautiful place. But there's a lot of humor here that is here, and it won't be understood if you leave here. And that's a lot of what he was doing. And, at the time, like he did dress up as a Nazi, but he was making fun of Nazis and all this kind of stuff. And they took it and they cut it into this way that was basically trying to say that YouTube was promoting and profiting off of this anti-Semite, and like, that was what they tried to argue. And it's not true at all. PewDiePie makes mistakes. Yes. 100% accurate. But in that regard, no, he's not like that. But it didn't matter. 216 advertisers pulled out of YouTube. The estimated number I heard, and I don't have proof of this, but it's what I read at the time, was that it cost YouTube, Google specifically, about $50 billion is what I heard, is what I read. And what this
50 billion.
Yeah. And so it cost them 50 billion, and they started clamping down. And if you look at YouTube monetization now, and I know you're not there yet yourself specifically, Andre, you'll get there. You'll get there. You'll definitely get there. You're a good dude. You put in some good work. I fully believe you'll get there. And the thing is, though, is like in this regard, they started clamping down on it, right? We had months and months and months of like, we're talking 75, 80% revenue drop across the board. They weren't telling us what was making money, what wasn't making money. We were all freaking the hell out in the summer of 2017. And that's when they debuted the yellow monetization sign. We've been dealing with that now for 3 fucking years. It's better.
So what is that now?
That's limited ads.
Okay.
Many people will just refer to it as demonetization in general. It's not, but it's limited ads. And it's wild. So at the time, it was like, holy shit, what am I going to do? But thankfully enough I had enough of a viewer base at the time to where I could keep going, and I would figure out how much money I would need to make per day, which is not 300, thankfully, but like I knew what I needed to make. And then from there, we get into 2018, and this is when I started having a lot of issues with people that were on my side of things. So, there are people I know that I was friends with at the tail end of 2017 that within a couple of days absolutely threw me under a bus and then used me as a punching bag for months and months and months. And it got frustrating. And I acted.
Wait, hold on. They use you as a punching bag. Why though?
So okay. So again, I'm gonna try to summarize it as best high level as humanly possible. There's a lot of players, a lot of moving parts, and a lot of events.
Okay.
So the best way
I'm laughing at the comment, not at what you're saying. Just
sure.
You know.
So the idea here essentially is that there's a guy named Kraut, and he was running a Discord server that was investigating the alt-right. It came out that he was investigating the alt-right, but they framed it as if he was running a doxing server. Doxing is the internet terminology for releasing someone's private information.
Okay.
The truth is that's not what it was at all. It's not what it was at all, but it didn't matter. People who he was friends with seized the opportunity to destroy him for profit. Okay. And this is what they did. And then what brought me into it was I wasn't friends with Crowd at the time. I'm friends with him now, but I wasn't friends with them then. But a mutual of ours had gotten brought into this as well. And I didn't know specifically what had happened. Like I woke up one morning and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And like one friend of ours was really mad at this guy. And I told him to calm the fuck down. I said, dude, just calm the fuck down. Like just block him and move on. Not knowing what was that made him angry. And that turned him on me. And then they threw me under a bus. And there's a video of me when I got my silver play button from 2016, where when I opened it up, I cried, right? I was reading this letter, I guess you could say copy paste letter, whatever. And I fucking cried. And I cried because, and this is what most people don't know, is like 3 months before I got that letter, I was swatted. Swatted. That's when somebody called the local police department and said I had bombs strapped to my children's necks and that I was going to fucking kill them. Yeah, they did. I didn't have any kids at the time. So SWAT team was mobilizing to figure out what to do next. Then that person called back and said, shots fired. And so then SWAT team came to my fucking door. But and I was working on a video. I don't know specific. I have theories. I can't talk about it publicly. Because
right, that's fine.
The person, the fucker dude knows what he did too, but he's a Weasley little fucking fuck anyway. So anyway, I'm working on a video, and sadly, I forgot to hit record on my webcam, but the audio was recording, and this is up on the channel too. Like I ended up like they pounded on the window, and I went outside, and I was all like, I opened the door, and I hear, Beaverton Police Department, come out with your hands up. And I'm like, are you guys talking to me? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, all right, man, hold on a second. Let me shut the door. I have cats. And so my apartment, the doorway is like receded back by about 3 feet. So I couldn't see either way down the pathway. So as I put my hands out, and as I walk around the corner, dude, there's a fucking shotgun in my face. and there's a whole wall of SWAT dudes, and I lose it. I make sounds I've never made before. You know, and my knees go, my everything locks up. I start to quiver. I'm shaking. I'm crying. I don't know what to do. My brain shuts down. My hands are up. Is all I can think of is my hands are up. And they're like, okay, come here, come here, come here. And I'm wearing like an Avengers t-shirt and sleep pants. And it's like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Oh my God.
So at this point, they know that I'm not a fucking killer, right? They know
wait a
this.
minute. Something's not right here.
Yeah. They're like, this fat blubbering fuck, dude. He's out here like, look at this nerd. He doesn't even probably get laid. He doesn't have any
What did
kids.
they do then at that point?
Well, they tried to calm me down. And then they said, look, man, we gotta go check your apartment. I said, all right, cool. You know, and they did. They checked my apartment. They didn't find anything. They tracked a bunch of fucking dirt in, but whatever. And then so I'm cleaning everything up a few minutes later. My girlfriend hadn't gotten home from work yet. I wasn't going to call her on her way. I was going to tell her after the fact, you know, when she got home. And there's a knock on my door, and it's a local news reporter. And she's like, hey, I heard on the radio that
sickness. That's not nice. He said, that's the problem, Jarbo. You had an Avengers shirt on.
Maybe
that's
they
what
knew.
Was in. That was in at that time.
Yeah, I think we were just past. No, we were coming up on Civil War.
Yeah,
at the time.
It was hot.
Yeah, you know, we were. This is right before the release of BVS too, by the way. So I almost got murdered twice that month. What can I say? But yeah, it's actually a week before BVS has happened. And so anyway, I talked to the news reporter and everything, and I've talked to the FBI, and nothing's come up. It's been 4.5 years, man. Nothing's happened. It's not going to happen. I haven't even heard the audio recording because they told me they can't release it. So it is what it is. And so anyway, so that's why I cried, because like that shit's attempted murder, man. You know?
Yeah.
They sent the cops. I mean, because you know at the time no one had died, but at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, that did happen. There was a father of two who got it was a SWAT call in Kansas City, and it wasn't even like anything related to this guy. It was two idiots were arguing over Call of Duty. One threatened to SWAT the other one. They gave a fake address. 5-0 showed up, you know, and 5-0 shot this dude twice and killed him.
Gosh.
And yeah. And the guy who made the SWAT call was like homeless living in Los Angeles. And he ended up getting arrested, and I think he's serving 20 years right now. So I may not have gotten justice for the person who tried to have me killed, you know, and I look at it like that. I'm sorry. There's no other way. But I look at this guy who is currently spending 20 years, and I hope it's a long 20 years. I hope it's a painful 20 years, because I put my whole situation on him, because that's the only justice I'm ever going to fucking see on this subject. And so that's why. And so the thing is, you know, most people don't know that. They think I'm just some, you know, fucking weak-willed, weepy-eyed moron that's like crying over a play button. But when you spend every day, multiple hours a day, building up your YouTube channel, and you get to that 100,000 subs and they send you this plaque, man, that's an accomplishment.
Oh yeah.
You know,
because I mean, you get the silver one for 100,000, and I think you get the gold one when you get past 1 million.
Yeah, and then if you get like, you know, I'm never gonna get 1 million, but it's like I'm looking at my play button right now. It's right next to my IMAX replica Wolverine claws from Logan. Thanks, IMAX. They actually sent it to me. I'm not kidding. It's pretty funny. It is like, you know, they're like, you want to promote Logan? I'm like, okay. Here's these IMAX replica claws. I'm like, cool.
What's up, DC Extended?
So, I mean, the idea there is like basically that, you know, like these guys came after me for months, and I reported them for harassment. I did. It was only a few people. I'm not using that to justify anything. It's just, it is what it is.
Right.
And it came out in a very public way, and it destroyed my career. It literally destroyed my career overnight.
So that destroyed your career, that whole experience.
Oh, fuck.
The swatting.
Dude, yeah. No, not the swatting, the flagging. The flagging destroyed that career. Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of the people involved in that scenario are worse than me by literally every conceivable metric. And that in and of itself is a whole other story.
So the flagging is what?
Reporting the con. So, you know, if you look at the YouTube page, you see like the like, dislike button, the share, save, and then you see a little flag.
L flag. Yeah.
Right. So if you hit that report button, it will bring up a window and you can report the video. I don't recommend doing it, but that's all it was. That's literally all it was. And people made it out to be this thing that was just like, because it was a bad thing. But let me explain as to why things happen the way they happen from my perspective. So right before the flagging incident, I had put out a video on $3 Theater, kind of like asking Star Wars fans. I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Because the fandom menace was starting to grow at this point, like grow at this point. And everything was negative. Everything was terrible. You know,
well,
like,
I mean, negative sells.
Yeah.
Negativity, it's much easier to grow with that. You know,
yeah. Oh, it really is.
Quickly.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Trust me. Yeah, it really is. It's harder to do positivity. And
yeah.
So I got frustrated, man, because I know Last Jedi was shit, but like, fuck, dude, you know, Solo was decent. And like, not everything surrounding, not everything surrounding Star Wars is shit. And like, it's just, I got frustrated. So I was like, what the fuck do you guys want? And that got attacked, right? That got attacked. And I took it down ultimately. And I'm like, look, I think I'm just frustrated. I just got mad. I'm sorry. You know, I made an apology video. But what it dawned on me at that point was like, I'm like, dude, I need fucking therapy, man. Like, I need therapy. Because this shit's, I'm like, I don't like doing the fucking social justice warrior shit on the other channel, which pays my bills. I'm not feeling fulfilled by any stretch of the any circumstance. I look after my daughter. At the time, she was 9 months old. So it's a lot to deal with as a 9-month-old and trying to do this shit, you know? And now I got 2. So it's like, yeah, you learn to live with it. And I love my kids, so it's fine. But it's like, you know, there's a lot of frustration and there's a lot of just tiredness and there's not, you know, outlets. And I'm like, I got to go to therapy, man. And so I made the decision after that to go see a therapist, except I wasn't able to get to one for a couple weeks. So when this whole thing went down, when I was quote unquote exposed and all that shit, I kind of chose to like lean into it. Most people don't realize that. They don't realize that, like, in the moment, people were like, oh, you're trying to cover your tracks. I'm like, nah, I mentally shut the fuck down. Like, what it was is I was accused of flagging down a live stream because they had found some unsavory videos of mine from back in 2012 where I made a puppet say some things that shouldn't have made a puppet say. And the truth of the matter is I actually had nothing to do with any of that. I had been off the internet from 4 p.m. that day to when I went on that stream. And I went on there to defend myself because I started getting all these fucking death threats. I got a dude who wrote my name on his testicles and like took a picture and sent it to me. People were threatening my kid, thinking that I attacked the stream. So I went on there to defend myself. And I'm like, I didn't do this. And then they're like, but you flagged all these other videos. And I'm like, no, I didn't flag those videos. Now, I didn't admit that I flagged.
Now, the story is that you were seen doing it on a stream. Is that right?
No, I showed my report history on a stream. That's what it was.
Yeah, because I had heard that, you know, that you hit a button, which I don't know how you would have, but you hit a button and then people saw you doing it live. Like, you didn't know that they could see you. And I was like, that doesn't sound right.
No, people make up shit, dude. They literally, I'm not kidding you when I say this, in this scenario, and it's been 2 years, and I quite frankly don't give a fuck anymore. But it's been 2 years. I had to like literally witness shit that, I mean, it was like absolute fake crap happening. And people would believe it. And they were like stalking me on like every social media platform I was on. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, dude. I like email. I'm like, oh, you like, I'm getting accused of everything under the sun. And I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to fucking keep my shit together mentally right now. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to keep my shit together for my fucking kid and my girlfriend and my house and my family. Like, I'm just trying to keep my fucking mentality sane. All right. Like, I don't give a shit about like any of you fucks. This has nothing to do with any of this shit. All right. Like, the people that I reported, like one guy specifically got under my skin and he spent 2 years calling me a fucking pedophile, except due to recent circumstances, we now follow each other on Twitter and I still don't know how to fucking feel about that. But that's, again, whole other situation. But there are people that in this situation, what happened with what you're referring to is when they said, oh, you can look at your report history. I didn't know that existed. And so I click on it and I see these videos I'd reported and I'm like, fuck, I'm fucked. and I shut down. I just mentally shut down for like.
But that was on.
It was on air. That was on air.
So,
it was.
So they could
was,
see. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. It was like they couldn't see me. I was.
Well, they can see the screen.
No, well, I forget. I don't know what they could see at that point.
Well, regardless, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. There was about 18 minutes of shutdown. I don't remember what happened. I really honestly don't. People ask me, like, they were like, what happened? Like, were you really deleting? Because what they thought is I was deleting flags, that I was like, inspect element, like delete, that kind of shit. That's what they thought I was doing. And I guess I can see why, but I'm like, if I was going to do that, wouldn't I have like done everything? Wouldn't I have like gotten rid of everything? Right. Like, why would I have 13 videos or whatever? It just doesn't make any sense, but people want to believe what they want to believe. And at the time, people were running with the narrative, and I didn't do anything to push back on it. I legitimately didn't do anything to push back on it, because it was one of those moments where I had friends of mine on one side saying, don't say anything, just go back to work. Don't say anything. This will eventually go over. And then other people saying, like, you should say something. You should say something. You should say something. And I'm just in the middle going, like, what the fuck do I do? Like, I have to work. I still have to try to make money. But the thing is, as this story got out there more, as more people started talking about it, it started getting to much larger and larger channels. And when I say that, I mean like channels with over 1 million subscribers were talking about it. And when that happened, and I was still putting out content daily, I was just I wasn't really acting like nothing happened, but I was getting back to work. I would get like 7,000 dislikes on a video. And like, I had to put out like 3 videos a day. I get like 7,000 dislikes. Yeah.
7,000. How is that even possible?
Because when you have 1 million sub channel that's putting out to 1 million people, 7,000 is a drop in the bucket.
At your height, how many did you have? Subscribers, that is.
163, I believe. I'm down to 124 right now on that channel. And I lost 3,000 on $3 Theater as well. But I've gained 10,000. So it's the weirdest thing. This is the truth. The weirdest fucking thing. The people who hated me the most, right? They went after almost every other one of my channels. Anything else I tried to do, they would come after. They left $3 Theater alone. They did.
Why?
They left I have a theory on that one. I've actually talked to some of these people in the last couple of years, right? Some people have apologized for like believing some stuff, and other people I've talked to, and I've like, look, I fucked up. There's another way around it. I fucked up. But they're, but what it was is they'll go like, hey, I really hate your politics, but I like how you talk about movies. I'm not even kidding you. They're like, you have shit fucking opinions, you Bernie Sanders loving fucking libtard. But goddamn, that Avengers movie was like really fucking good.
It's interesting.
It was wild.
It's like, fuck your politics, but hey, you want to talk movies? Hey, I like that. Let's do it.
That was legitimately it. That was legitimately what happened. It's still crazy, dude. Fucking, it's still nuts. And like, and the thing is, like, I even have to go like what, 6 weeks later, 5 weeks later, I had to go to Milwaukee for MythCon. I wasn't going to go, fly, because it cost me a lot of money.
Well, yeah.
Especially, like, to fly from Seattle to Milwaukee for this, like, it's basically like a YouTuber CPAC sort of thing, right? It was like this one day, a bunch of YouTubers get together, talk about whatever. I was a featured guest. I wasn't going to be on the stage. So I flew out to Milwaukee, and part of it was like to show people, like, I'm not going to run. It was an expensive fucking show, I'll tell you that. But, and I talked to people, and people like gave me a lot of crap for it, but people were understandable. But the problem with it is that the channel, like, what you don't understand about YouTube is like YouTube only values one thing. And it's your watch time. That's it.
Right.
They don't care about anything
that's
else.
the ultimate.
That's the ultimate
statistic that they base everything on.
Yeah. So I'll give you an overview. Before everything happened with my channel, okay? So in the early stages of August 2018, I had an average watch time of about 4 minutes and 55 seconds, which is pretty good, right? 4 minutes,
right.
55, yeah, pretty decent. It then dropped because of the mass dislikes all the way down to 1 minute and 37 seconds. And that was my channel average for months. And that is what we would call an extreme case. So the way YouTube does this is YouTube will look at everything and they'll go like your metrics and they'll go like, okay, if you get a good watch time, we're going to recommend your content to more people, even your own subscribers, because they know that the notification bell doesn't even fucking work. And they know that people aren't going to actually go and like look at the subscribers, their subscription box, especially on mobile, because they're mobile, which is where now like the vast majority of viewing comes from, whether it's your phone or a tablet or a console or a smart TV. People go and they look at what they recommend. That is what YouTube does. And so they go to your home screen. And your home screen doesn't always have shit you're subscribed to. It will have things that are kind of adjacent or similar.
Right.
So so people always go like, oh, I forgot I was subscribed to you because I just stopped seeing I just stopped seeing your content. And that's why, because as the channel kept getting hit and hit and hit and hit and hit, it just kept dying and dying and dying and dying until it didn't matter what I put out there. The vast majority of people that were watching before, they're not watching anymore. And the people who consistently come in day after day after day to dislike the videos because they're interacting with the videos, because they're commenting on the videos, they are the ones who get shown the videos. What it was is it put that channel in a loop where I could literally not break out of it. I even went to YouTube training seminar down in Los Angeles in early November 2018. I flew down for like really one day. I flew down and went to this training seminar, and I'm talking to engineers, actual YouTube engineers. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And their response was, I don't have an answer for you.
Oh.
And I'm like, how do you not have an answer? How do you not understand? Like, they don't fucking know anything, right? So then I found out why they don't have an answer. That happened at VidCon 2019 when I went and I spent an hour talking with the YouTube product team in their lounge. Very nice, very fancy, very catered.
Really?
It was good. I didn't pay for food at all at E3 or at VidCon because I got it all for free. But I'm talking with these guys for an hour, and I ask again, same thing. I lay it out. I talk to them about it, right? And they go, they basically tell me that every department is compartmentalized. So one area does not know what the other area is doing. There is no communication across the board. So I'm like, what do you guys recommend? And they're like, well, just keep working. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Just keep working at it.
I've gone and spoke. You ever heard of a guy named Daryl Eves?
No.
He's a big YouTube guru, runs a bunch of events and shit. And so he was in Seattle early 2019 doing a freebie event. He was on like this countrywide tour. So I went to it and I tracked him down afterward. And I explained my situation. This is the guy. This is the guru. This is the man. The man. Daryl Eves knows everything about YouTube. You know what he said to me? Just keep grinding. That was it. Just those 3 fucking words. That was it. No suggestion. No, maybe. Keep grinding. Just keep grinding. Dude, the grinding is fucking killing me. It's fucking killing me. It's nonstop. It's every day to no avail. I'm not getting ahead. I'm only getting worse. By going back to work, by continuing to work and getting constantly hit, it just destroyed everything. So just keep grinding was like literally the worst fucking advice anyone could ever give. And he knows, and he knows, like, it drives me up the wall. I even went and tracked down the former head of the YouTube. It's like, the creator channel inside channel. When you go to your channel studio, there'll be like a little video there. It's like, oh, here's how to like figure out how to use fucking thumbnails.
Yeah.
So like the creator insider, there was a guy named Tom. He was the guy in charge. Tracked him down one night, middle of the night, get him to follow me on Twitter, right? So I got a question for you. It's kind of private. I DM him. I tell him everything. This is a guy whose entire job is to figure out how to get your channel seen by more people, right? Like, this is what he does. His response was, this is true. Maybe start a new channel.
No.
Yeah. Not kidding.
How does that even help you? It's like, hey,
it doesn't
start a new one and just start from scratch.
Everything you've it's like everything you've built since 2012. Fuck it, throw it in the trash. Literally,
yeah, just start over again.
Just start over again. And it's like, dude, but everything I do, like I'm like, you got like, fuck, all right, man. You know, so it's annoying, it's frustrating. Because I got people now, still 2 years later, that are like, and this is weird, and this is legitimately what happened last night. You know Alex Jones, right?
No, I don't know Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, InfoWars, right? Like the big conspiracy theorist guy.
Okay.
They put freaking chemicals in the water that turn the freaking frogs gay. You don't know it. Wow.
No, I don't watch. I used to watch a lot of conspiracy videos. I don't anymore though.
I guarantee you would have seen him. All right.
Like, I probably have.
Like
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones. Just Google Alex Jones real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna do that right now. Oh, this guy?
Yeah, that guy.
He's an American radio host.
That's a simple definition. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's I don't want to say he's a big deal, but he's a big deal.
Oh, people know yeah.
People know who he is.
Okay, now I know what this is.
Yeah, right. So anyway, his 17-year-old son last night was on a podcast, on a stream with these fucking two dipshits that are out there still trying to like accuse me of pedophilia. Right? They're trying to accuse me of that shit. That's been another ongoing battle I've had to deal with. Because this is the internet. Someone doesn't like you, doesn't call you pedo. Doesn't matter what the fuck it is. That's just unfortunately how it works. Anyway, so he's on there. They're talking to him about me, and apparently now he wants to talk with me.
Who? Alex Jones.
Alex Jones' son.
His son. He wants to talk to you.
Yeah, Yeah, apparently he wants to debate me. I don't know. I don't know over what. What are 17-year-olds into? Fucking Fortnite, Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't know. I don't know what to expect with this guy. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not against it because, like, fuck it, that'd be funny, you know. Like, oh, you know, your dad's a fucking psychopath. Ooh, you know what I mean? Like, apparently the guy was bragging. He's like, yeah, I get laid, right? Like, he's 17-year-old. Like, okay, weird flex, but okay, right? Like, that's the mentality we're dealing with here. It's like, I'm not worried about verbally sparring with the 17-year-old who chronically vapes on live streams with a guy who legitimately committed sexual assault against his girlfriend when he pulled off a condom while he was fucking her and didn't tell her. That's stealthing. That's a crime.
Yes, and that's the definition of stealthing.
That's a crime. And then a bunch of other shit that this fucking guy did. But they tried to come at me because again, what they're trying to do is elevate their status by focusing on the last 2 years of shit. So let me tell you what I did. I was live streaming Friday night on the Boulder Talk Radio, and I caught wind that they were talking about me. So someone who was watching my show sent me a link to their Discord. And I went in their Discord and I got right in their call waiting list to go on their show. And they banned me. They won't talk to me. They will run their mouth. They will talk all this shit constantly. But as soon as I start pushing back on them, they clam up and they don't know what to do and they run. It's hysterical because this dude is what that side of the internet all is. It's just bullshit. And it's one of the reasons why right now when I'm doing the Boulder Talk Radio, I legitimately don't care. I'm like, come on in, we'll talk, but I will punch back if you come at me over something stupid. If you have valid criticisms, then we can talk. But if it's like, you know, trying some gotcha bullshit or whatever, dude, because like that's what it is. I don't want to let go of that channel. I really don't want to let go of that channel. I've spent all these years on it, but at the same time, I don't care. I just do not care about it anymore. Right? Like it's not that I'm like I don't hate it. But I look at it, I'm like, nothing about this is going to bring me joy right now. I like the talk radio show. That is fun. I do enjoy that quite a bit.
Which one is that?
That's the Boulder Talk.
Boulder Talk, yeah.
As it's not movies, and I don't got to hear about the fucking Snyder Cut. So,
and that's all there is to talk about right now.
I know.
It's surrounding my room right now too.
Oh yeah, it's great. No, what's funny about that is like people will call, I have the open call-in, so people will call in and go like, "What do you think about the Snyder Cut?" I'm like, "Really?" Like, okay. You know, like right now, come on, guys. We were just talking about like, you know, defeating white nationalism. Right. And he want to like kind of come on in and go like, so that Snyder Cut, you know, like, all right. But it's just, dude, that's the whole fucking thing. Like, it's like, I love YouTube. I love the platform. I love the people. The whole thing's a goddamn mess. It's been a mess for years. I don't even know if I'll still be doing this in a year. I might just say, fuck it, sell all my shit, No, I'm going to stick with podcasting. I'm going to keep my microphone because this microphone it makes me sound boss. You know,
it does. I love your microphone.
It's a very nice microphone.
Like I feel like a peasant talking.
Nah, you're fine.
Like while you're talking,
you sound good.
But no, it does sound really good though. I mean, it costs a pretty penny, and that's why. But no, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, well, that was the thing is I was high at VidCon 2018 right before all my shit went down, and I bought it because I had tested it at VidCon. I was walking around and they had the Shure booth, and they're like, "Oh, do you want to check out this microphone?" I'm like, "Yeah, all right." I was using the Yeti at the time, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I like my Yeti, but this sounds pretty good." And I put it on, put the headphones on. I get real close. I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I just like, "Oh, my voice sounds so good." Like it's like butter. I'm like, "Ooh, God, I'm kind of turned on." It's like, so the next night, I looked up how much everything was. It's like $800 for everything. It's fucking insane. Insane. So I'm at this bar for like a going away party, and I smoked a joint and drank a couple beers, and I'm just like on my phone. I'm like, I really want that microphone, so I went to Amazon and I bought it. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm okay with this decision. And then a couple days later, I kind of forgot that it was like coming in the mail. And then like it just shows up. I'm like, oh, how am I going to explain this one to my girlfriend?
So is it the Shure? It's a Shure
SMB71. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he says, or is it the Rev?
Not the Rev. I have the SMB one. And then I've got the Shure MV1 little portable mixer, which is nice. I could probably go get something a bit better. This one's very small, compact. It's actually meant to be worked with mobile devices, surprisingly. And then
I forgot about that. I remember you were.
Yeah, you got to get the cloud lifter as well in order to like boost the bass or boost the dB by 20, which is like $150. That was what I forgot to buy. And then of course I have my my Rode mic arm, which I think was
really cool. The one that plugs into your phone, the one that you were showing us. That's really cool. Like the little. It's like a camera. What is it? It's
the Osmo Pocket.
Yeah, you hold it and then it just comes up, and and then that's how you do all your videos from your car. Yeah, I used to wonder that. I thought you were using your phone, but I wasn't quite sure.
Sometimes I do. It depends if I have it with me or not. But it's like I just like the fact of being able to put it on my dash, and I get a good look. It doesn't like show the wheel, right? Like the steering wheel. It goes above it. And then I'm pretty sure they heightened it to make sure the field of view would be pretty good. The audio's okay. Can't complain. I have all the adapters for that stuff. Cause what I want to do is like, dude, I've been watching these videos of just fuckers going camping, right? Like they don't say shit. They don't say anything. This guy, 1.5 video, like 90,000 views. It's just him camping for like 4 days. And he doesn't say a word. And it's just compelling to watch. It's so interesting.
It's interesting.
It's so much other shit out there that like I just forget exists. And it's like because I'm so caught up on like either the commentary side of things or like the movie side of things, which is why right now, like at this point, I've been working to revamp the direction of my channel. I have OCD. I talked about this with Sil the other day. I've talked about this before. My OCD is a big problem because I think it's getting more aggressive the older I get, and I have to go and like take care of that. Because
typically any kind of mental illness, mental disorder, however you want to word it, typically as you get older, it gets harder to manage. And believe me, I know all about it as well. Not so much OCD, although it is to a certain degree, but ADHD and countless other things that I have to deal with. As you get older, it gets worse. It's like your body can't like contain it as much as it used to.
And for me, because my brain works as fast as it works, I start thinking. I'm always thinking, and like I can't calm my brain down, and so I can't. I go, okay, well, I want to do like this and 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 this, and then I think, okay, how can I make that work? How can I do that and then still do everything else I have to do? And the problem with it is that when you've got 2 kids that are like 2.5 and 1, they are obviously the priority.
Yes,
and that is non-negotiable. but then it's like everything else becomes frustrating. And then I've been doing the enumeration stuff with the government, which it pays really well, and I enjoy it. Because I get to like play mini detective, which is pretty cool.
This is your work with the census?
The census, yeah.
Okay.
So like today was like my last day, I think. And it was a long one. But so, so that's always fun, but that's going to come to a close. I think like I'm pretty certain like tomorrow.
But you're still doing the food delivery, right?
I haven't done that in like 2 months because I've just been so busy with the census.
Wow.
But I haven't done, well, the thing is, dude, I'm making like 18 an hour with the census. I usually average about 20 an hour with the food delivery. But they also pay me the miles on the census. I get 57 cents a mile.
That's pretty cool.
So like the other day they sent me out to the coast, literally 80 miles one direction for one house.
Wow.
And I got it. I walked a mile up a hill in this gated community that I snuck into because I found a way in. And I could legally be there, by the way. I just want to make that abundantly clear. When I'm on census duty, your no trespassing signs means nothing.
Really?
Oh yeah, that pisses off folks too. I love it. So I walk about a mile up this hill through this community to find out that this house is nothing more than just a summer house that's not occupied.
Oh,
that's it.
You're like, well, I guess I'm out of here.
No, all right. So I walk. It was cool because like it was like moody, introspective weather, which I like. It was like misty and shit, which I thought was pretty cool. So I took my time walking back down the hill to enjoy the ambiance, and then yeah. So then I just drove back, and that's a lot of what happens. Is it's just you. I mean, even last night I went out to this place. I was like 45 minutes away, and I just like I thought, okay, I can go get this house perfectly fine. I get out there, realize it's not a house. It's like an RV.
Oh.
And they said it's a white RV with a brown stripe. And that's what they wanted me to look for. And I'm like, really? Okay. Then I pull down this muddy dirt road. And we just had this like really big downpour. And I pull up, it's like the sun is almost completely set. Like it's almost entirely dark out there. And I roll up next to this actual burned down mobile home. Was it a meth lab? Don't know. Either way, it's burned. And then I'm like, I can't go any further because the road is not safe, and I drive a Kia Soul, which is not going to do well off-roading.
No, not at all.
So I park the car and I start just walking as far as I can, and I realize after a few minutes, I'm like, you know what? I'm not really going to be able to get very far, because I'm losing light for one, and two, the water is covered over the road and I can't see where to walk without soaking everything.
Yeah, this sounds very not cool.
It's not cool. So I turn back around as I'm walking back towards my car. I look over and I see the top of an RV, like behind these bushes, like way far in the back. And I'm like, it's white. It's an RV. That can't be the one that I'm looking for, can it? Like, well, I might as well go over there and find out. And again, I'm walking back over and I'm like, I have my light on my phone out. I'm looking for bear traps or any other kind of shit I might come across or whatever. And I just make my way back, and I pass by like a 64 Plymouth that's like rusted out. It's a shame.
Man.
I'm not even a car guy. And I looked at that like, no, baby, no, what they do. So I paid my respects and I kept walking. And I get around this curve and I realize that where I'm walking is like, it was a driveway or it was a road, but it's been overgrown. It hasn't been touched in so long. And I come upon this white RV with a brown stripe on it. Right. And then as I'm approaching it, I'm like, okay, is there anyone here? Because I can't see any lights on, but then I see that the door is open. And again, I am rapidly losing light.
That's not good.
No,
I'm already terrified.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, no. So I start walking towards the RV. And I'm just like, I'm walking. And again, thankfully it's grass. So it's like real, it's like covering my steps. And I'm very nimble for a fat man. So I'm able to like really maneuver. If I'm limber, I can actually like get around pretty well. And like people aren't going to know that I'm there. And so I kind of like creeping up on this place, and I'm just like looking. I don't hear anything. I'm like, I think it's empty. But you don't know. You have no idea if some crazy rabid hobo is going to be living in there, right? And so I kind of peek my head in, and I see that it's all torn up. I'm like, okay, cool. I think this is it. I think it's the one I'm looking for, but it's absolutely just like it's blown out. And I'm like, let me just mark that in my thing, and then I'm like back to the car, and I just hightailed it back to the car, and then got the hell out of there.
Holy crap.
You know, just to like, again, this was like 13 miles off the freeway, no cell service, middle of nowhere. And it was like one house. And I've done things like that. I've had to go out.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like these crazy locations they send me to. And I don't have a name. I just literally have an address. It's just go here and see what you can find. And that's the whole enumeration process. It's super easy. It's just like, but what pisses me off is like so many people are lazy at it, right?
Well,
and
they don't.
And it's like, cause yeah, you're making $18 an hour. You get sent to an address and it's like, knock, knock, knock. No one answers. Here's your note. And then,
see you later.
See you later. And then, but for me, cause again, I'm a gamer. And the map they give me looks a lot like an Assassin's Creed map, where it's just a whole bunch of points of interest, and those are all my cases. So I'm like, I have to, and again, the OCD is I have to go and clear it off one by one, clear a section, move to the next section. And that's what I do, like a game. And that is one of the things that kind of ramps it up a little bit in my brain. And it's just, so yeah, it gets a little overwhelming at times, because they gave me 35 cases this morning and they're like, can you do all 35? And I'm like, no, I cannot do all 35, because these are the problem child cases.
I last time.
Yeah. Like these are the problem child cases.
Terrified.
And, and they're like, okay, well, we'll take off these ones. I said, all right, cool. And then they still gave me one. They gave me one. I don't know why. When I wrapped up the batch I was at today, the next house I had was literally 45 miles away. Right. And I had to go that direction anyway, because I needed to get gas. But I'm like, all right, fine. And I've already been down there before, and the people have a locked gate, no way around it. And I don't know how I'm losing light. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do to get their attention. So I go down there and I pull up, and I'm like, I pull up in their driveway, and their dogs start barking, and the dogs run up to me, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just going to sit here and keep the dogs barking until they come to check out what it is. And then I'll just do that whole, hi, I'm from the Census. I just need to ask you like literally 5 questions and be done with it. This guy finally comes out. I put my mask on, because if I don't wear a mask, I get fired. And as soon as I say, hi, I'm from the Census Bureau, he stops and he turns around and he walks away. No. Doesn't say a word to me. And I'm like, sir, I just need to ask you a couple of questions. I'm from the Census Bureau. And he just yells out, go be a predator elsewhere. And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? So I don't know. I don't know. I might have to make some calls tomorrow to figure out like who this guy, and I don't even need to know this dude's name. Right. I just need a head count. I mean, other details are great too, but it's like, I don't need the social security number or the size of your dick. I don't care about any of that. I'm literally
just need a head count. That's all I need.
Yeah. How many people are here as April 1st? Names would be preferable, but whatever is whatever. Your birthday. Okay. Again, whatever. Your age, whatever. Are you Hispanic? No. What race are you? Are you white? Most people are white. And then that's it. That's literally it. Oh no. Do you own or do you rent? And that's about it. That's it. That's literally, this time it's like 5-6 questions. It's done. Like I did one today. I caught a guy on his way out of his house, and I just like, boop, 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 boop. It got done in less than 2 minutes. And my boss calls me and he's all like, I got an alert that you got a screening done, or a test or a survey done in less than 2 minutes. What's up with that? Because apparently they think that's like, you're not doing your job or you're lying. And I'm like, no, I caught the guy on the way out as one dude. Like it was just like do done. This is pretty basic stuff.
So Matt, looking back on your career, what would you like for those who are starting up on their own shows and all that? What advice would you give them, or what would you have changed about yourself then, looking back on it? What's up, Reese?
I probably would have changed a lot more. You know what I mean? I mean, like, look, you can never determine when or if you're going to get success on here. You can lose it as fast as you get it. Trust me, I know. You can rebuild to an extent. You can. The key is find things you love. This is a job. This is not a hobby. This is not something you do occasionally and expect to do well at. This is something you dedicate time to. This is something you dedicate a lot of time to. And the problem with it is you're always up against a system that doesn't care about you, and a system that's always changing and expecting you to know how to play the game when you don't even know the rules.
Yeah.
And I know
true.
that sounds daunting and that might sound defeatist or whatever, but it's a reality. And I'm not going to lie to anybody. I fervently do believe that literally anyone can do this. It's really easy. I started with an iPhone 3GS in my 98 Ford Taurus, just yelling about the shit in the world that pissed me off. Now I own a home. I have my own studio, which is where I'm in right now. I've got a very nice microphone, a very good setup. I've got 2 kids and a loving girlfriend. And I live in the woods, which is awesome because fuck people. But it's like, you can do it. Not everyone's going to get there at the same time. Not everyone's going to be on the same timetable. It's anyone can do it. I know Geeks Cosmic's in here. Like I've been giving him advice and stuff, and he's trying, and that's good.
I know. He's letting me know it's getting late. He's like,
yes, I got to be up in like a few hours myself.
So Matt,
yes.
Obviously, yeah, there are a lot of things that we can go back and change in our lives that would make us better people today. But as you were saying about Geeks Cosmics, he's starting off, and essentially, I'm still starting off with this as well. I mean, I've been doing this since, like March, I want to say.
Yeah.
So, and like Matt's saying, it's not easy either. I mean, for some people, it's easier. It's easier for some than it is for others. It's just a matter of how you're able to talk in front of a camera. And for some, they can do it, and some they can't, or they get nervous, or they get quiet, or they have a hard time doing it. For Matt, it's extremely easy. For me, it's not that hard. But I mean, it does take a lot of time. It does, and you think that it's going to take off as much faster than it really does.
Well, you'd like it to.
You'd like it to,
and that's the problem. Is you go, I put in all this time, I put in all this work. Why isn't anyone watching my video? Why isn't it being? And then, trust me, dude, even like I got 32,000 subs over here, and it's like I've been hovering around 32,700 for months. It goes down, it goes up a little bit, it goes down, it fluctuates, but it hasn't risen. It's just,
this channel's at 32,000, right?
This channel's at 32,000. The other one's at 124, but it's been losing, and I'm fine with that.
And which channel is that?
That's the Matt Jarbo channel has 124,000 subs, and that's been that's down like about 40,000 from 2 years ago, and I'm fine with it. I want to get under 100,000, but that's because YouTube recommends it more if you have under 100,000 subs. That's my way of playing. Yeah, they do. So if you have under 100,000 subs, they'll recommend your content to more people. If you've got over 100,000 subs, they'll recommend your content to your subscribers more, and new people less.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's like a 70-30 like flip either way, right? So the split is like when you're under 100,000, 70% new people, 30% subscribers.
But I guess that's the point, is that they want to promote new shows as opposed to just promoting the shows that are already existing. And then it's like whoever's on top stays on top.
Yeah.
So it's a way of that makes sense.
And a lot of people and the thing is, the key is to be consistent. The key, like the key is to always be working on like what you want to do. Honest to God, like if you're going to talk about entertainment, don't, like I'm saying, like as like a vast overarching thing, don't pick a niche, pick a topic. If you want to build up 2-3 channels at the same time with different topics, do it. If you got the time, do it. YouTube likes there to be cohesive content on a channel. If you do a catch-all, you're not going to go out to as many people because they're not going to be watching it. If someone subscribes to you because you're talking about Snyder Cut, and then someone else subscribes to you because you're talking about a Marvel movie, right? They may cross over sometimes, but in reality, the Snyder Cut people want the Snyder Cut news and the Marvel people want the Marvel news. I'm just using it as an example. So they're not going to really go over and watch the other content, and you're kind of splitting your audience. So it doesn't go out to as many people, which then YouTube says, oh, well, then people aren't watching this video. And it recommends it to fewer people. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, is like, figuring out where I want to take my channel, because I like data-driven content. I like data, information. I like conversations. But the longer conversations you do, like this is a 2-hour stream,
Yeah.
And I know like you usually like an hour. So we've been talking a while.
Well, this one I was going to go longer anyway because,
Okay.
I knew, talking to you, there's going to be a lot of detail, a lot of storytelling. So that's why I was like, yeah, it's fine. My wife and kids are out of town anyway. They come back tomorrow. So that's why I was like,
okay.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it while they're gone.
that works out. I understand that entirely. And it's it. There's just a lot there that goes into this kind of stuff. But just keep working at it and modify your expectations. But always be looking like, down the road, like, make connections. Not just with other YouTubers, but with your audience, because your audience that becomes dedicated to you and they get to know you. If you need help, they'll support you. And I'm one of those weird people that's like, I have a Patreon. I fucking hate talking about my Patreon because like I love like I think the most direct form of compensation, or like you could call it maybe quid pro quo, would be the advertisement system, right? But that doesn't work anymore. And that's why you see people, I won't say their names, but you see other people that are just always like, oh, support me, support me, support me. Oh, woe is me. YouTube won't recommend me. Oh, while pushing drama clicks nonstop.
Yeah.
It's so in my mind, because I know they know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. I think deep down, like their fans know what they're doing, but there becomes this parasocial relationship between the content creator and the audience. And it's a very easy one to manipulate. And it's something I have so much of an issue with. Like I hate it, dude. It's one of those things I really just don't like. Cause I feel like I'm grifting someone, or I feel like I'm being dishonest or something. But the truth of the matter is, like, I'll be honest. I'll tell you, this is what I would like to do. My overall goal for the next year, maybe if I'm lucky, would be to, did you see the Podio commentary episode I did with Enosh?
I haven't seen that yet, and I've been planning to watch or listen, watch, whatever, but I haven't gotten around to that. There's a lot of things I need to do. I haven't gotten around to.
I understand that entirely. But
all right, Joker, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, thanks a lot for Joker. I get it. Now here's the thing, dude. Take acting classes if you have trouble speaking. Take acting classes, improv classes.
Are you saying that I have problems speaking?
No, not you. I mean, anyone. No, I've taken acting classes. I've taken improv classes. Like you have to do it in order to to kind of flow with it. You have to be able to flow with it. So it's having the training, because we're putting on an entertainment product effectively.
Yeah, essentially, like when you're doing this, you're performing.
Yeah,
in some way or another, and it can be extremely draining, especially when you stream for all day long. It's like, wow.
It's why I can't go on camera when I stream, because it's for me in my brain, the way it works is because I went to film school, because all this is important to me. So how it looks, how I sound, I'm always monitoring everything. And that takes me out of the conversation. But here I've just got my lamp on. I'm talking to you. My headphones are on. I can focus on what I want to say. And that's one of the reasons why lately I've been going off camera more, and even videos, because I can't focus the way that I like to focus.
Well, no, it's true though. Cause I mean, when you're on camera, it's like, I don't know how many times I've looked at myself, or I just stare at myself the entire time, especially when, I'm talking to you when you have your camera off. But I mean, you get fixated on how you look and how you're presenting yourself.
Yeah.
If I were to turn it off, then I don't have to worry about that. I can just kick back, talk to you, and that's about it. Yeah. But no, it's a lot. And, like for me, for instance, this became easier for me because I spent a lot of time. I've a lot of different things I've done that's actually helped me with this. But one thing is that I spent a lot of time listening to talk radio, a lot of time. And
I've been doing that a lot more. Yeah.
Like I've been listening to talk radio for years, and there were times where I'd be listening to talk radio in the car when I'm driving at night. And I would be talking at the same time, even though they can't hear me. I would talk as if I'm talking with them. I'm by myself. I mean, it sounds kind of weird. You're just saying as it is, but, it just kind of, it just helped me out. But I think that, from our age group as well, one thing that helped me a lot was as a kid, having that time with, because when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have all this crap. So you had to use your imagination to do a lot of different things. And I was always big about using my imagination with my toys and creating like a movie or a story. You know what I mean? And I had Marvel action figures, I had Star Wars action figures, you know, and that's something that I would do a lot of. I was the youngest of three, so I spent a lot of time by myself playing and having to basically create stories on my own. And to me, that helps a lot.
Yeah, no, it really does. I mean, it's all about like trying to figure out the direction of things, and that's where I get lost in the details. You know, I get lost in like the over planning. So I try to like for like Boulder Talk Radio, I try to keep it very simple. You know, like just
it's more straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, well, you know, I'd love to be able to like format a show, but like, honestly, no one gives a shit about the weird news. They just want to talk about the drama. And I get that.
Yeah.
You know, so I just drop a link in there. But like the unfortunate thing too with that, and this is just me being real, is like I get people that like, you know, that kind of cross over from, they follow me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and they cross over from 3 Buck Theater to that. And they go, oh, it's a live call. Like, we're not talking about movies. And then someone comes in like, oh, like, let's talk about this off subject thing. And then I try to be accommodating, but I try to move through it because it's like, that's not the place for this, but I don't want to be a jerk about it. And that becomes a bit of an issue. Like, again, when you have an audience of people that like you, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I mean, like, I appreciate everyone who listens and calls, and, you know, but it's like right time, right place sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there's one guy in particular who I really like, you know, but like, he's on the East Coast, and I've done a 1 a.m., you know, call in before. And he'll call in. He waited until it was 4 a.m. his time to be able to talk to me for like 4 minutes. Because I was in the process of talking to somebody else. But he waited for that long in order to be able to talk to me. You know, and I felt like, oh my God, dude, I have to like, you know, I have to talk to this guy. He waited this long. You know?
Exactly, right?
And then like, but then it's like, okay, so you listen to this whole thing. What's your opinion of it? And he's just like, oh no, I just watched this movie with my stepdad. And I'm like, well, that just derails everything. I mean, that's not his fault. That's what he was doing. And I asked him what his opinion was. So there's what it is, but it's kind of like, you know, it's like that. It's just, yeah, I'll tell you this. We'll wrap it up to this, but like what I want to do is not the Boulder Talk, the Podio commentary, where like me and a guest like this, we sit down, but we talk about a movie, and it's a movie like you may like, or I may like, one right. That, you know, like there's I don't want to say like a mutual thing. Like the idea there is like, I want to know what movies make you geek out, right? Mm-hmm. So I like, you know, it could be any one of the side of things. It could be like, oh, what movie do you like the most? Oh, Batman v Superman. All right, fine. You know, we'll do an episode of that with somebody eventually. And then we just sit there and we just talk about it. Because if you get excited talking about a movie, then I can feed off that energy and I can get excited talking about that movie.
Well, I mean, when you talk about those kind of movies, I mean, movies for me, it's like the ones that mean more to me, where I geek out more, are the ones that make me feel, how do you say, make you feel happy inside, or good inside, or giggly inside. And it's the ones that I have a much more stronger connection to, basically because of my childhood, and which ones I spent more time watching. Films like The Goonies, Back to the Future Part 1, Back to the Future Part 2. You know, those films. And then there was a lot of action movies as well that I used to watch as a kid that, you know, I would never let my kids watch now. But these films, I mean, they pretty much shaped who I am now. But The Goonies is probably one of the ones that I absolutely fell in love with as a kid. And I watched it all of the time. It was such an amazing movie. And it still holds up to this day. I mean, it's a cult classic for many generations of fans. And there's another film out there. It's kind of a cornier movie, Adventures in Babysitting. I loved a lot.
That's a good movie.
That was a fun movie. Elizabeth Shue was the main character, and it had a lot of other actors as well. But no, that was a really good movie. I absolutely love that film. And there's a lot of movies in the 80s too that I absolutely adore. Born in East LA, or there's another one that he did too that was very similar to that.
Shrimp on the Barbie.
Shrimp on the Barbie.
That was a big one. That was a big one from the I think 90s, right? That was early 90s.
That was early 90s, yeah. But there's so many good movies that had come out at that time that you had never seen before, that was just so revolutionary. I mean, even if you look at films like The Predator, I mean, that had never been done before. That's to that level, and with that amount of action in it, about an alien that you knew nothing about. All you knew is that it wanted to kill you and hunt you, and you knew that you were game, like you were its game, basically. So Predator 1, I absolutely just adore that movie. I love it so much. It's so hardcore, and it's just I love it. I absolutely love it.
Well, maybe we should talk about it one time.
I mean, we should talk about it one time, definitely.
Because that's what I like. Your excitement would make me more excited, and I love Predator. So it's like, having the discussion about like, because what I would do is I would then go, okay, I'd go back and I'd rewatch it before we would talk. And then I would also, if possible, get the audio commentary and like try to listen to that if I have time. It's kind of tough right now. But I can also probably get the audio commentary like just in podcast form. There's a guy I met once who actually does this for fun. He just like has a whole server full of nothing but audio commentaries. And so like, he's got like a podcast for it. And so, yeah, like, and then like, I'd look up like other tidbits of information and we would just talk about it for like maybe an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And then my goal would be to do this enough to where people go, you know what? I like this. It's a positive conversation about these movies. This is something I want to listen to. I want to get involved with, and then maybe support via Patreon. If I can get to a certain amount, which really isn't that bad, then I could actually then focus more time on doing it. Cause I could scale back doing the food delivery, and like, that's kind of the whole goal, is like figuring out a way to,
but food delivery, it's such a lucrative business right now, especially the fact that
dude, I just put $3,000 in my car. I just put $3,000 in my car because I put
the wear and tear,
because I put 50,000 miles on my car in the last year and a half.
Well, I mean, if you have a second vehicle, like a vehicle dedicated just to that, I know, but in a perfect world, you would want to have that.
Yeah.
Because then you have that kind of, that flexibility that you can use one car just to kind of crush, just to do the deliveries over and over again.
But the problem is like, we had another car, but it got stolen on Christmas night. I'm not kidding you. And then flipped and crashed into a creek about 10 minutes later.
Rasha, what are you referring to when you said, who's this guy? If you can tell me, I was like, I don't know what she's referring to, but my uncle had it on VHS, so I watched it finally. So Geeks finally got to watch Monster Squad. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's a fantastic movie. Yeah.
Igor actually thought it was better than The Goonies.
You could make that argument, I think, in a couple ways, but it's never going to be as iconic as The Goonies.
Yeah.
But it is one of my all-time favorites. So,
and The Goonies is a film that, like, I'm not sure why they never made a sequel to that movie. You would think that they would have made a Goonies 2 or even a Goonies 3, but they didn't. They just stuck with the one film, and then that was it.
You know what? Maybe at the time they were just realizing that they couldn't get a sequel to work the way. And then also, like, the kids grew up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Corey Feldman had kind of blown up after that with the Coreys,
Mm-hmm.
And then Data kind of went away after that. Sean Austin did a couple other things. I think he did like was it like this Red River, was it like White River Summer?
No, it was a Whitewater Summer or
Whitewater Summer, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. Yeah, where Kevin Bacon goes fucking insane.
And then at the end they try to save him.
Yeah, I know. Like, come on, guys, we got to do this. And then he did a bunch of stuff back then. And then it's like the other, Chunk kind of didn't do anything else.
No, he did nothing.
He did nothing. And then Josh Brolin became, he was Barbra Streisand's kid. Or no, Josh Brolin. Well, whatever.
Well, Josh Brolin didn't do much with his career at all until he got older. And then all of a sudden he became a star.
Oh, I was like, fucking Coen brothers, man. They fucking they blew him up when he went in 2000.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
That movie is incredible. I absolutely love that movie.
It's a very, very good film. It's a very good movie. I mean,
that's so good.
But that's the point of the Podio commentary, is to have these kind of discussions about this kind of things, and then hopefully be able to, turn it into something that people like, and then like, hey, like a couple bucks here helps me keep it going, and then be able to put out more episodes per week. Be able to do. I would love to be able to do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday show, and then really just give people something to listen to on their commute to work or while they're at the gym, and then get them involved and get them watching more things they maybe didn't see, get me watching things I maybe didn't see. Mm-hmm. And I think that to me, it's positive. It's more fun. And that's kind of just what I would rather have. Cause cause the thing is like, I found out a week ago.
Tony, what's up, Tony? Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Oh, hey, Basically it's like I found out a week ago my grandfather didn't have a lot of time left. And so when I went to, that was one of those things where it's kind of like, if you're not going to do it now, you're never really going to do it, sort of thing.
Right.
And so he just passed away a few hours ago. And so just kind of
like today
he died. Yeah, he died about 5 o'clock today.
My God, Matt, I'm so sorry to hear that.
No, thanks. I said my goodbyes to him last week. It doesn't make it any easier. I fucking had a rough night, but yeah, I mean,
and here I am, pulling up all your old history, like, hey, so what went wrong in your life?
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Even my girlfriend was like, "You just gonna go play video games tonight?" I'm like, "No, a friend of mine asked me to be on a show, so I'm gonna go talk to them." I mean, it's unfortunate, but he was always, I just want to, it's that thing where you never know when it's your time. He just turned 88. It's a whole long thing, but he's unfortunately gone, but he's not in pain, and I'm happy about that, and so, but it's like, you start thinking about it, like, what are you doing with your life that is going to make you not regret your actions? And I know death always kind of has that impact on people, but it's true. It's like, what are we doing? We get caught in the day to day. We like routine. We like habit. How many times do you realize that you've wasted like 2-3 weeks because you just get in the routine?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, all the time. I mean, time flies by because you're just so used to doing your normal routine. You're not even paying attention to how much time is actually going by. It's incredible.
Yeah. It's insane. Like, I thank you guys very much for the comments. I really appreciate that. So the whole thing though is like, I started thinking about it, and that's why Enosh and I did the audio commentary last week. I kind of pushed him to do it. I'm like, I gotta just do this, man. I gotta just get off my ass and get this shit on the ground. Because it's something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I just kept putting it off because I just needed money. I lost 80% of my revenue off the flagging stuff. That's like significant amounts of money.
It's crazy.
And then it's like, it's like been trying to survive and shit. It gets fucking tough. So I got to do things that are going to be more positive and things that are more that going to keep me sane and keep me present for my kids. And that's the biggest thing. So I'm like,
yeah,
and so it's like, I would love to be able to find a way to make this work. I think I can. I'm going to give it a good run. But that's what I'm doing. And, and again, you guys may want to do something similar or different, and that's all good. Like, we need more positive movie talk on this fucking platform, by the way. Like, we need more conversation about other things that is not just like, well, did you hear about what Warner said about I mean, like, yeah,
it's like you can only go so far.
Yeah.
And I mean, earlier, I had some of the viewers asking me to pull up some stuff on Ray Fisher or with the whole thing with what's her name, that she made a comment. Diane Nelson.
She deleted her whole account.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. What was that about?
I don't know.
Here we go. See.
Yeah, I know exactly, but I do have to get to bed. I know you have to get to bed too.
Yeah, I have to get to bed too. I'm supposed to. I gotta be at the dentist by 12 o'clock, and I have to do some stuff around the house, which I don't know how I'm gonna do that because they're not here. My family, so usually I just sleep in and I just stop giving a shit. And then when they're here, I'm always up doing stuff because it's like it's like life's back. Here we go.
So well, enjoy it, because my girlfriend's gonna get me up in about 5 hours. So yeah, I gotta get this.
Matt, thank you so much for coming on. I really had a great time talking to you, and this was the whole point. This was just my way of saying, hey, let's get to know Matt Jarbo, because I feel like you're a very misunderstood person. And look, all of us have made our decisions in the past, and we are who we are. So. Thank you for coming on here. I appreciate it. I had a great time talking to you, man. And guys, don't forget, this Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern, I'll be back on the air with the Nerd Queens on the show, on the Nicotina show. And I'll also be joined by Anthony from ACS Universe. He'll be my co-host, and we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be pretty cool. We have some games planned out and some more surprises as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Matt, thank you so much for stopping in, and everyone in the chat, thank you so much. Rasha, Geeks Cosmics, Igor Snowden, Tony, Who else was here? There's so many people here. DC Extended, Dr. Fate, Sickness. You can call me Joker, who finally left to go do something else. Rushnon, who was here earlier. Reese 75, and Gargans Entertainment. I know I'm pronouncing that name wrong. And everybody else who's in the chat, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being in the chat and adding to the actual show. I appreciate you guys. I love all of you guys. And Matt, I love you too.
Oh, thank you very much. And I love you too. You're a good guy, man. I appreciate you.
Nova Joe's bike, Nicotine and Jarbo's fire. He just showed up and laid down an awesome statement. Oh yeah, he is still here. Where is he? There he is. Can't wait for the next show. Awesome, dude. Yeah, guys, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be this Sunday, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern time, and there will be a lot of surprises that you guys are in store for. So definitely tune in because I got some stuff planned. It's gonna be pretty fun. And Matt, like I said, thank you so much for coming on here. You're always welcome on my show. You know that.
Yeah, I'll probably show up and derail it from time to time because I'm pretty good at that.
Nice.
So you're always on, and I'm all like, let me tell you about this weird fucking night that I had.
Yeah, check this out.
Check this out, guys.
Have you told you about stealthing?
Y'all want to hear about rape? No. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm so tired. I don't even care anymore. No, I'm gonna go to bed.
Man. That's it.
But no, thank you again, and everyone, thank you again. I'm gonna dip out, but we'll talk tomorrow, okay, buddy?
All right.
Have a good one.
And guys, until next time, I will see you. Like I said, Sunday. And until then, it's 2:20 in the morning, so I'm going to bed. Some of you are starting your days. Some of you are ending your days. Either way, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot, guys.